monthly coffee club, theme dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
Sports 56 traffic.
We have a malfunction traffic light on Union Avenue between the Medical District and downtown. You want to treat this as a four-way stop. That's a malfunction traffic light on Union Avenue between the Medical District and downtown. Also, we have a crash on the right shoulder on I-40 eastbound on Perkins. Also, we have a crash on Lamar Avenue and Kerr. Also, another crash on Lamar Avenue and Parkway. And then we have a hit and run crash on Perkins Road north of Knight Arnold Road near Aloha Street. That's Perkins Road north of Knight Arnold Road near Aloha Avenue. That's a hit and run crash. And that's your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston. Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane. Here are Peter and Anthony with Sports 56 Mornings.
What? Yeah. What? I'm hearing a little echo. What's happening with that, Zach?
Yeah.
I think it's because something's loud. There's some setting that's loud. I don't know what's going on. It's crazy. Welcome in, everybody. It's a Family Leisure Studios. This is Sports 56 Mornings. I'm Peter. He's Sane. That's Zach. Catching that sweet echo I sound good this morning.
You still here?
You can already tell. I do. Now it's.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay, whatever you just did, Zach. I think you got it.
The glutton of the wrong
You got
button.
it squared away. Were you just freestyling on the board, Zach? Is that was going on? You just pushing some new buttons? No, nothing new. Okay, all right. Thought maybe you just freestyling a little bit. What's happening? Sane, how are you, man?
Man, I'm good, brother. How you doing, man?
I'm still catching that echo now. I'm catching it back again.
Oh man,
something's loud. It sounds like I'm hearing maybe Zach. Maybe I'm hearing Zach hearing me. I think the echo coming through. Maybe that's what it is. You doing okay?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Not homeschool. Virtual learning day one went well in my house yesterday.
Yeah, you texted. You said Gabe was on top of it. He was
handling. He was doing his thing.
Did you do anything, or did you just let him?
I didn't really have to do anything. Like I was sitting there on the couch, which turned into falling asleep on the couch, and
yep, that'll happen. You got to watch out for that.
Yeah, because there's no you don't hear anything because he's got headphones on, so you don't really hear too much of anything. But his headphones started shorting, the cord shorted, so he had to take the cord out. Something that the schools are doing, they want the kids to have headphones on so they don't hear. They want them with headphones like these that cover your ears, so they don't hear any background noise in their house. Because some kids, parents might work from home, might have smaller siblings that aren't in school running around. So, yeah, they want them to have no noise in their ears.
Well, that's what my kids. Anytime that my kids are on a break, but from one class, like my little girl's in first grade, so she has like maybe a few more frequent breaks than my third grader does, and so. She's like, I got a 5-minute break, and she starts running around the house and like distracting him, and I'm like, come on, like, this is killing me, like, and he's like, I want a break, and then it's just the whole thing just falls apart, like it's
right.
Having two of them is juggling is tricky.
Yeah, I already
but know. I texted you, like, if the kid, some kids like really take to virtual learning. It seems that, and I think a lot of parents are kind of finding this out. There's some kids who just like it just fits them personality wise. Like my son, for example, is. He's kind of like me. He's like a little bit of a goofball, kind of, act out, kind of thing. And he gets bored easily like I do. And so, he'll start like just going bat, 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 like making noise like that, just bat, 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 just, and he's still listening, like he's still paying attention, but like he's muted, so he can make those noises and it doesn't really matter.
Right.
The teacher can't hear it. It doesn't really matter. Like he can't sit there in class going bat, 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 bat. I mean, he'll be in detention quickly. But in this thing, he can be like and making little stupid noises and whatever, and it's fine. Like it doesn't. Yeah, nobody knows. Like it works. Right. So it actually works pretty well for him. Not as much for my daughter, but she's younger. So, it's I salute to all of you guys. Yeah. Obviously, me and Sane, but everybody else out there that's trying to do all this to juggle work and virtual learning and everything else. And it's
a blessing, though, man. We have a job where we're able to have that free time to do it. There are people who pay people to watch their kids do that. You know what I mean? So.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's definitely some jobs that are more compatible with this kind of thing, for sure. I mean, there's definitely like some jobs you can do it, some jobs you can't. Some jobs it's a nightmare. Sometimes you have to have like meetings and things like that's the only time where it gets problematic is if I have to have meetings or things like that. Yeah, you kind of have to deal. But for the most part, yeah, you can make it work. Yeah. And parents, man, all you parents out there, I mean, everyone's getting very creative. Everyone's getting very, I had to have a meeting yesterday I had to have a meeting because I had to do a Zoom session thing, and I had to do it somewhere. So I had to go out and like get in my car. I had to go someplace private because it was a private situation. Right. And I had to go actually into my car. I'm sitting in my own car in my house, like because it's the only place I can go. I get the kids like settled in and stuff, and that's all you can do. Like you just have to kind of make the best of it. So shout out to all the parents out there who are doing that because it's not easy. Yeah, caregivers, these parents, kids, all that stuff. It's not easy.
These kids are showing me, man, that they know way more about technology than we think they do, because Gabe was navigating, and all the other kids in class were navigating through class very well, and the teacher was like, it's like the mute button is the new hand raise now, where it's like, if you just blurt out an answer, like you're not supposed to just say an answer. You're not supposed to unmute yourself. I mean, it's kind of like it's the same thing now. So and the kids. And like when the teacher asked the kid a question, it was almost like it was real fast. Like a kid would come back with an answer. It's like they've got it set in their mind. They've got to unmute themselves and then give their answer. It wasn't like this long delay. And parents weren't saying. I mean, the teacher wasn't like, I can't hear you. Unmute. It was you very seldom heard that. It was all the kids were like in sync. Like they knew that they pretty much have it down.
No,
they've only been doing it for a week. Yeah. And shout out to SCS. It seems like they got this thing. I can only speak for what I see in my son's school, which is also my niece's school, because my niece is in the same class as my son. So I can only speak for that. Yeah, it's really cool.
That's convenient.
It's crazy because they were they went to the same school last year, both started kindergarten together, but they weren't in the same class, and we hated that they weren't. But it was kind of like, well, if they're in the same class, they're gonna give hell to somebody. So but this year they actually are in the same class, but it's virtual. So hopefully, if things open up and change a little bit for next semester.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
Yeah. They'll actually be in the same classroom, but they're doing good though, man. I mean, it's stressful because it's not the ideal way for kids to learn, but it might be, man. Because like I said, Gabe's sister, he watched YouTube all day long, and he comes out knowing he has this ton of new words in his vocabulary and different understandings of things, and he's able to read. He plays video games and he can read stuff I didn't even know he even knew what the word was. And these kids are smarter than we think they are, man. And I thought it was going to be a disaster, but it's so far it hasn't been.
Well, it's I mean, it's really tough for everybody. I want to give a big shout out as well to all the teachers out there too who are making this thing work. Like I said, I can only speak from my kids' experience thus far, but from what I've seen, my kids' teachers are super patient and like really understanding of all the challenges that come through. Like doing the assignments is always really tricky because how do you fill it all out? How do you turn it in? And like, especially as the kids get older, like there's more actual, like assignment stuff, like first grade and all that. Kindergarten, it's a little, more, it's a little looser. But like when you start having like actual tests and actual assignments and things like that, and you have to fill everything out and navigate through all that, it's really a challenge. And, from what I've seen, the teachers have been extremely patient and really understanding of all the different challenges, and like I've been really impressed with how natural they've made it. Like where it's really there's just a tremendous amount of empathy and patience for everyone going through the process, and like, oh yeah, you didn't fill this thing out. Let's go back and do it. Let's, no one's being, like super harsh, and everyone's kind of letting the kids figure it out on their own. And I think I've been surprised, but a big appreciation to the teachers and administrators for putting all that stuff together. I know they've been working really hard to try to figure out plans and alternate plans and contingency plans and all that stuff. Not easy to do. So it's an adjustment for everybody, but I appreciate all the work that they're putting in. It's a shame that we couldn't get this virus business under control so that we could, be back in school. Like that's on all of us as a society.
We had the right not to do what we were supposed to do. People.
Hope everybody
Can't take
hope we all
rights
enjoyed
away.
our summer of fun. I hope we all enjoyed all that, because that's where we are right now. That's how it is. And unfortunately, like for example, we're going to talk to Fred Jones, who is of course founder, the head honcho, the guy, the man. Fred is awesome. Who runs the Southern Heritage Classic, and we're going to talk about the impact with Fred and with Southern Heritage Classic, and in some respects, the canary in the coal mine on all this stuff, that kind of let everybody know just how serious this was going to be and how difficult this was going to be. And, it's such a challenge, and it really just, it sucks big time that it's not that we're not, in the middle of all the events and the stuff and everything that's happening, the parade, the fashion show, the concerts, all the dinners, the things like it. Just there's so many things surrounding the classic that
man.
tailgate, the crazy, insane
doubt.
tailgate with is
and just the money that comes into the city and the money that the people behind that event bring in or whatever. I'm sure that's an ultimate loss. And when I saw that, I live near the Liberty Bowl, and when I saw that. When I saw that the Cooper Young Festival, which is up the street from my house, and the Southern Heritage Classic, which is around the corner from my house, both got canceled. Like, remember, they canceled, like, within days of each other. No, I was like, oh, crap. Like, it really hit. Like, man, 2020 is trash. Like,
because that's one of the Well, I was going to say, saying, like, and because that's your neighborhood now.
Yeah.
That is one of the – I love to take people who don't necessarily know Memphis – on that Saturday down to that area, because you can go from Cooper Young Fest, which is one totally different crowd, and walk like 5-6 blocks over towards the Liberty Bowl, and it's a completely different. It's two different worlds, two different experiences, but they're both Memphis, and they're both like very authentic, but they're both completely different. And they are right next to each other. It's kind of wild if you've never been here before.
Yeah, when I really was first started in doing print journalism, I was writing for Tri-State Defender, and I was covering Tiger football, and they hit me up because they said they needed someone to cover the Classic. And I had never covered anything other than Tiger football before, so I was covering the game. My good friend Chip Williams, who not sure who he works for now. He used to work for Channel 5. Chip, at the time, he was freelancing, and he was freelancing for the Jackson Clarion Ledger Star, one of those two.
Which one? The one in Mississippi or the one in Tennessee?
One in Mississippi.
That's Clarion Ledger.
Yeah, he was writing for them. I think it was them. I don't know anyway, bro. But he was covering for them. And so Chip had to cover the Classic too. But he had heard of the Classic. He'd never been, never watched it on television, didn't really know what it was. And he calls me. He was like, he said, "Man, are you excited about the game?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm gonna give you some words of advice, bro. You're gonna want to get out of the house way earlier than you would for a Tiger football game, because Chip would cover Tiger football." And he was like, "What do you mean?" I said, "No, I mean like hours earlier than you would for a regular game." So he kind of took my warning, and we were both in traffic at the same time. But I was a little bit closer to the actual lot than Chip was. So Chip was like, "Man, I've never been in traffic like this before in my life." I said, "Yeah, Chip." I said, "I know you lived in Memphis all your life, but you're gonna have to do something in this event called bogarting." And he said, "What's bogarting?" I said, "I'm not gonna tell you, but you'll figure it out on your own." And I hung up the phone and didn't talk to him anymore that night. So he when I saw him at the game, he was like, "Sane, I figured out what bogarting was." Yeah, man. So yeah, my good friend Chip, who's non-melanated, by the way, he was thrown into the fire of the classic Traffic, and he found out what Bogarting was. So shout out to him.
You have to.
Got to take something, man. You just got to take.
You got to get it. You got to go grab it. You got to want it. You got to want it. You got to want it. You
got to get after it. Man.
It's not going to just come to you. You got to go get it. It's a unique thing. So we're going to talk to Fred. About what has happened, about his thoughts on how things have gone down, what happens from here, all that stuff. We'll talk to Fred 8:00. Looking forward to that coming up. Of course, 9:00. Dustin Starr is going to join us. We're going to talk a little professional wrestling. If you will, Daddy, we're going to talk a little wrestling. We're going to talk a little squared circle, don't you know? A little bit about fisticuffs and whatnot. Getting all funky in the middle of the ring and making your liver quiver. All right, anyway. Once I start talking like that. That's right, Daddy. Come on, Daddy. I really encourage all of you out there to sprinkle Daddy into your speech just randomly. What's up, Daddy? How's it going, Daddy? Yeah, Daddy. You just throw that in there every now and then. It makes for a lot of an extra fun.
Some good stuff, man.
Yeah, somebody at the gas station's like, "What? Yeah, can I help you?" Hey, yeah, of course you can, Daddy. That kind of thing is always fun. So that's coming up on the show. You can join us 67129 on the First Bank text line. We love to hear from you on the First Bank text line. Here, of course, and metaphorically speaking, of course, we're not actually hearing from you on the text line, but we're seeing you, and that's important. We're hearing your opinion. We can also hear from you literally on the First Bank phone lines, 360-8255. If you want to join us, that's the way that you can do that as well. You can also hit us up on the chat in various forms and fashions, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and so on and so forth. We check the chat. We love to get your information that you want to provide for us. We love that. So please feel free to do all of that. And all of it, of course, is wrangled by the man himself, the almost only ordained deacon on these airwaves. Almost.
One of two.
Not quite.
He's one of two.
One of two that we know of, possibly more.
Possibly more. Haven't really dug into many guys' private lives.
That's right. The not at all associated with any leadership in Westwood at all.
His residency in Westwood is even in question.
Yeah, it cannot even go into Westwood without some sort of a dispensation.
Yep. Except to cut his grandma yard.
Correct. That's exactly right. So all of that is him. Of course, he is, as a texter says, the czar of not taking a date too far.
Yeah.
The Viceroy of Bok Choy.
The Maven of Clean Shaven. The glutton of the wrong button. The Lord of the wrong chord. He's a production surgeon who might be a virgin. Zach always frowned up at that. You ain't supposed to be bragging about that kind of lifestyle, man. Even if you ain't a virgin, you ain't supposed to be bragging about it. You're supposed to be in a repentant state right now. If you're not a virgin, bro. Look at
AC Green, man. Come on.
Come on, man. Do right, man. Re-virginize yourself, man.
Always celibate green.
What else?
The daddy of veggie burger patties, says one texter at 67129.
The guru of tofu.
The chief without beef.
The master of on-air disaster.
He's got more Dragon Balls than Goku. He watches VeggieTales on his Roku.
All facts.
Head. He don't like feet. Head looks like meat.
we gotta go to. We don't like feet day too. I don't know the story, but I know. At some point, me and CJ were talking about some foot situation, and Zach was extremely uncomfortable with the whole deal, and so you could add that to the repertoire. He does not like feet, which is cool. I don't really, I get it. I'm a pro feet guy, so I can't get with y'all.
Oh, you like Rex Ryan? Okay.
Hey, man, I ain't say all that.
You like them toes?
There's a middle ground to everything, man.
You like them toes?
But I do appreciate a woman that has nice feet. I mean, come on, man.
You know what? You
It's
remember
the
that,
difference
Zach? You
between
remember the
that and being
scene
a sicko, man.
from Don't Be a Miss South Central while drinking juice in the hood when the guy's putting the hot sauce on the toes and all that. That's Sane. That's Sane right there. He's got a little hot sauce
Yeah.
kind of.
If I do, it ain't gonna be no vegan hot sauce. It's gonna be sprinkled
They
with a
make
little bit
vegan hot
of
sauce.
a little bit of fatback juice. Just a
gravy.
little bit of
Dipping some
gravy.
toes in the love gravy. Dexter says he's the Cub Scout of sauerkraut.
Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, of course, Rack City's own. He is the Scrooge McDuck who doesn't give up.
Nah,
Well, you figured
about
out.
nobody.
Ladies and gentlemen, he is Zach Boyd. Woo! What's up, Zach?
What's going on, guys?
Good over here, man.
That's good. That's good. But the thing, like, why can I be proud that I'm a virgin, though, Sane?
This is the way you ball your face up, man. When I say every time I say something about you being a virgin, I don't know if you're a virgin or not, brother. I don't know where you stuff been. But every time I say it, you ball up on screen like you about
You don't
to
have
come to
any
that
kind of
class.
No,
or something.
because
You're not checking on his business, right?
No. It's just a rhyme. It was like, okay, like that's why I'm like,
Oh, you saying my rapping skills are trash?
no, I ain't say it was trash.
He
I'm
said
just
you
saying,
do not have bars, is what he said.
no, that's
Oh,
not
okay.
what I'm saying.
I need to
I'm
watch, I need to watch
saying,
Hamilton so I can tighten up my delivery over here.
My name is Zachary Boyd.
No.
My name is Zachary Boyd.
I probably
There's a
did it.
million girls I haven't done, but
Sex-
just you wait.
No,
Sex is something I avoid
But just you wait.
I would
till I'm
probably,
married.
I would probably get. Honestly, I would have gotten bored. Listen, I'm like, all right, y'all. Like, come on now.
What are you
Change it
saying? So what are you saying, Zach?
Nothing. Like,
I'm not trying to get you to
no. All I'm saying, I just made the face because it was just a rhyme itself. Because I'm always making faces before you guys, bring me on.
That's true.
So-
He does make faces throughout the
Yeah, he makes
throughout
some
the
weird
process
faces.
of the intro. Sometimes he laughs. Sometimes he
Sometimes we
stretches
laugh,
his legs like
sometimes
this.
we cry.
And so I was just kind of like just judging the rhyme, and some are good, the others like.
So that one ain't hitting you right, bro.
I mean, it's cool.
Seems like it's too many words. I'm trying to
Sure.
yeah.
Well, you have different rhythms.
Trim
We have
that joint
different
down.
rhythms on the rhymes. We have longer ones and we have shorter ones. You can't mix them though. You gotta have you can go either way, but you can't. You gotta have it both ways.
Yeah.
So did you play golf? You said you were gonna play golf yesterday.
No, I didn't. I did not.
What'd you do? You just kicked it. You didn't do anything.
No, I went home and just stayed at home. I didn't feel like getting back in my car.
Did you do anything at home, or did you just sit in a chair and just go, "Wow, I'm at home"? Zach.
I took a nap, woke up.
This is saying, are you listening to this excitement that Zach's got going? Are you listening to this excitement?
Man, I don't really listen
For
to much
real,
nothing
right?
Zach say.
I took a nap, woke up, kind of did some stuff around the house, and that's pretty much
Oh
it.
man,
That's pretty much it, honestly. Like it's nothing spectacular.
Zach,
like
you are 85. You are 85 years old. You are an 85-year-old man in a 25-year-old man's body.
Listen. There's not much to do at this point.
Zach goes home, takes a nap,
I do.
dodders around the house, like
Yeah.
maybe fixes a sandwich or something.
Uh-huh.
And like, now I'm getting tired again. Let's go back to bed. Maybe
That
watch
depends.
my stories. I got to watch my stories.
Because
Let's go. What happened?
I do.
All my children. What's happening with all my children today?
No.
Let me check that out.
No, I get bored looking at those. But I do a lot of like reading online. So I go around, jump around from article to article, just reading stuff. So and that's about it, honestly.
A lot of reading online. I got you.
Yeah, reading.
I know what you're saying. A little reading.
What type of reading
online.
do you do, Zach?
Little sports, little news. Fall into a little rabbit hole. Just depends. It just
What
depends.
type of rabbit hole would that be, Zach?
I don't know. It just depends on the subject for today.
Are you on Christian Mingle?
No.
Why you say that like it's
Black-
the worst thing in
what-
the world, man?
Christian Mingle is the worst thing in
How?
the world.
What about black people meet?
No.
What about white people meet? What about farmers only? You- what-
I could like farmersonly.com has pretty much scarred me because it's like, man, like okay. No.
What about hatefeet.com. What about that?
I didn't realize that was a website.
Nastyfeet.com.
Brosovertoes.com.
Bros. No, I'm like, it's like I didn't know all of these were a website.
Soulsurvivor.com.
Yeah,
No.
Soul Survivor.
All right, well, Texter says first story of the day has to be the Braves winning 29-9 last night.
It absolutely
Most
has
runs
to.
ever scored in the National League. It has to be.
Absolutely
Sam.
has to be.
Oh,
What'd you think about it? Break down that game.
There was an historic night last night
Yep.
where
Tell me about it.
25 runs were scored in the game.
Yep.
29.
29
And then
runs.
I was like, and then 4 more were scored.
Then 4 more were scored. And that's history for you. Got to talk about it. We talked about it. There it is. 29
Yeah,
runs.
man. Second most in a game in the modern era. The Rangers scored 30 against the Orioles back in 2007.
We talked about every time we talk about baseball, I have to reference the greatest baseball game of all time, Bases Loaded on Nintendo Entertainment System. Shout out to my brother James, who's watching the show right now. Me and him used to go at it with my boy Paste, who had if he hit the ball, it was going out the park. Those are the kind of scores.
Yeah, I was more of an RBI baseball guy, but I get it. I mean, I play bases loaded.
Those
as
are the
well.
type of scores we put up on Bases Loaded in those 29 run games. If my boy Pace, and it was another black dude on there that was super fast that could steal bases like out of this world. I can't remember what his
like
name.
the Ricky
He
Ricky
was like a fake
Henderson
Ricky
sort
Henderson.
of.
'Cause I wanna
fake
say-
Ricky. Yeah,
I want to say the team I played with was like the fake Oakland A's, and like I think Pace is supposed to be McGuire or Canseco, and then they had a fake Ricky Henderson on there too.
that's right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Bases Loaded was the lick.
ding 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 do 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 do.
And baseball
Oh, yeah, I
games
remember
back
that.
then was so much fun, man. Like they were easy to play. The fielding was easy. I want to say it was like automatic fielding maybe, but like fielding was super
No,
easy.
no. It wasn't automatic fielding. That's for sure.
It wasn't hard to catch the ball though. It wasn't
No,
like
but
it
it wasn't-
wasn't like these games nowadays where you got like run to the perfect spot and time raising your arm and all that kind of stuff. It was no.
There's definitely more complex. It's more complex to that. I'll agree with that. But anyway, the Braves 29 runs.
29 runs.
I
man.
mean, 29 runs.
That's the kind of stuff you got to start your show off with. Man.
You 29 runs.
Let me give y'all some more context to this, man. We got to dig into this even more.
Do it.
Second most since 1900, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
Hold on, waiting for my
Yeah.
internet to refresh.
Yeah.
It was
I
pretty
thought you would know
amazing,
this.
said Freddie Freeman, who drove in 6 runs with 3 hits, including a 2-run homer.
Yeah.
Hard to put into words, he said, really. When you look up and see 29 runs on the board. It's an amazing quote by Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman, of course, who is the of course, you all know this. Freddie Freeman is the first baseman, number 5 for the Braves. 6'5", 220-pound guy from out of Fountain Valley, California.
How to what?
Fountain Valley? Yep.
Uh-huh.
So far as 8 home runs on the season. Batting .329 on the season. Hey man, we go in depth here on Sports 56 Mornings, bro. We touch all sports. We go deep into them, man.
Nobody can read
nobody.
ESPN.com like we can.
You
about
just look
baseball.
into the standings, man. It's such a pivotal game yesterday, man. The Braves,
Wasn't it though?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Braves are now 25-18.
How about Ronald Acuna? I mean, a junior. He's
man.
unbelievable. Austin Riley, the Olive Branch product, the youngster
man.
from right out here.
Right here.
Did you know that? He's
Yeah,
from,
of course I
he
did.
went to school.
Austin Riley. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me more about him.
Austin Riley, his brother Faustin Riley.
Yeah,
He's coming right behind him in the minors right now.
Jalston,
Yeah.
Jalston Riley.
He's a big kid, man.
Yeah, man. The Braves 25-18 leading
Oh,
the NL East.
certainly big kid. So big.
This game is crucial, man. It put them a whole 2 games ahead of the Phillies yesterday. It's a crucial game yesterday.
I mean,
man.
it's
they should have
what it's
saved
all
some
about.
of those runs, man. Did they have to score 30? You know what I mean? They could have scored.
I wish
10.
they had. I wish they had scored 30.
Yeah, that'd have
That'd
been
be
sweet.
great.
Yeah, why not, man?
Why not run it up? Why wouldn't you?
Because I'm sure it would have been somebody saying there's an unwritten rule about scoring 30 in a game. They were trying to run the score.
Oh, that's true.
Was there any of that last night?
it-
I didn't see if there was any. Was there anybody saying that they scored too many points and all that kind of? Those
I don't think so.
Nope.
I don't think so. But I mean, like I don't know what the unwritten rules are. So they're not written down. Somebody should write those things
Write
down.
them down.
It'd really make it a lot simpler. Honestly, write those jokers down. All right, let's. We'll come back. We got plenty to get to here on the show, including last night in the NBA, an amazing Game 6. And you counted out the Raptors, and you were wrong again, Anthony Sane. But that's not the first time.
Yeah,
We'll talk
the
about
first
that
time.
and plenty more. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 middays, delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Attention all authors. Page Publishing is looking for authors. Have you written a book and want to get it published? Page Publishing will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, Apple iTunes, and other outlets. They handle all aspects of the publishing process for you. Printing, cover art, publicity, copyright, and editing. Call 800-501-3689 now for your free author submission kit. That's 800-501-3689 for your free author submission kit. Again, 800-501-3689.
And paid for by Progression. Are you being denied credit? Are you getting hit with high interest rates because of a low credit score? Bad credit happens to good people. In fact, millions of Americans are victims of incorrect or unfair items on their credit report without even knowing. But don't worry, because the Credit Repair Helpline is here for you. We'll communicate with creditors and the credit bureaus on your behalf to address unfairly reported items like late payments, collections, charge-offs, and even bankruptcies, which can lead to a higher credit score. Our proven process has helped hundreds of thousands of people just like you see meaningful improvements to their credit profile. Working to repair your credit today can help you get the new car, new home, or new job you've always wanted. Call 800-939-2371 now and get your free credit score. Call 800-939-2371 to start working to restore your credit. The call is free and the credit evaluation is free. So call 800-939-2371. That's 800-939-2371. Start building your credit today. Again, 800-939-2371.
DeSoto Auto Sales specializes in late model cars with low mileage. They have the highest standards in the car industry. All of their cars are test driven, checked out from head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make and model. And if it's not on the lot, they'll find it for you. Walk in the door of DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Within 45 minutes, you can test your car, get credit approval, and finish paperwork within an hour. No shortcuts at DeSoto Auto Sales. Kind, courteous employees, a down-home environment. DeSoto Auto Sales cares about your time. Lowest prices in a 350-mile radius. We're living in a world today where time does matter. Visit them online. Check out their referrals. DeSotoAutosales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and other surrounding areas. DeSoto Auto Sales, 5704 Goodman Road. Call 662-890-7184. 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto Auto Sales.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Periscope. Don't miss out on anything. Stay in touch with Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 on social media. Sports 56 traffic.
We have a malfunction traffic lights on Union Avenue between the Medical District and downtown Memphis. So you treat those as a four-way stop. That's Union Avenue between the Medical District and downtown. Also, power outages in parts of downtown Memphis as well. So all the lights in the downtown area, treat those as a four-way stop. We have a hit and run crash on Perkins north of Knight Arnold near Alola. Also, we had a crash overnight on Neely Road, north of Holmes and Lorraine. Those roadways are open. We have a crash on Cottonwood between Goodlet and Perkins. So keep it right here. This is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
The cream of the crop. Yeah. Did you say we have a crash on a Lola? Is this Pokemon?
No.
Spell the name of the street.
Aloha.
Crash in the Johto region?
No, it was Aloha.
In the Alolan region of Pikachu has run into Charmander, and we got an accident.
We got a bunch of Diglett,
We
popping
just
everywhere.
Snorlax.
And Snorlax is asleep in the middle of the road, causing a real backup. Somebody's got to wake that big joker up. Also, did you say all the power is out downtown? Like
I
all
said
of it?
parts of downtown.
Which parts?
Different part. Like it's like I can't get too specific, but I can't get too specific. But it's just
I can't get too specific.
It's over.
It's parts of downtown. Like they said was it BB King and Second?
Sure.
Their lights.
You're the traffic guy. You tell me.
I don't know.
Shameful, Zach.
All parts. I just know some.
All parts matter.
Alola.
The Alolan region. There's power out some areas of downtown, possibly. The Alola region is here. We've got Pokemon everywhere. It's this quite a traffic update for you here on the show. Did you see yesterday the sky in California and Oregon?
No.
Yes.
Search for that. Like right now, this morning. Look, yesterday the entire day, the day like over on the West Coast in California and Oregon, the sky was orange and pink. Looking like Zach's shirt, basically. And dark because of all the wildfires that have been going on. The entire West Coast is like on fire. We don't really
need to do something about it. Somebody needs to stop that.
We don't really talk about that. Yeah, I think somebody definitely needs to stop that.
Got to stop
because of that dumb gender reveal party. So now everything's on fire. So now it's the point where they may have to move or postpone or somehow affect the 49ers game and all that. But it's like the sky is literally like Halloween orange all day long. It looks like apocalyptic. Like if you, it's like end time stuff. Like outside all day, middle of the day, lunch. You walk outside, your sky is dark and orange.
Where is this?
It's in like California, like San Francisco, like Northern California, all up the West Coast, like Oregon. Like there's all kinds of. I mean, there's tons of stuff. There's ash coming down. Like it's crazy.
I saw
like, if you look at the pictures, are crazy.
I saw a tweet yesterday. Because I saw the picture from Salem, Oregon, I believe. UPS guy was delivering like packages or whatever. It's just like bright red, and somebody
it's insane.
Somebody said whoever at the Northern Water Tribe, please put the koi fish back.
I mean, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. So I don't know, but just everybody be careful out there. It is.
How they talk to the people who actually who actually had the gender reveal? Like are those people?
I think they know. I think they know. I mean, they're gonna have to pay, huge fines and jail time and everything else. I mean, it's a bad deal. Like you don't want to do that.
Great way to bring your baby in the world. You gotta pay a
stop
huge
with the
fine.
gender reveals and stop with the gender reveal stuff. Let's stop having these elaborate.
You can have it a lot simpler than that. Just shoot some confetti and smoke or powder or whatever.
Or just
you're
doing. I don't know. Open up a card and it says boy. Okay, great.
Well, do
and
balloons.
We all go crazy. Yeah, I mean, yeah. There's so many things that can go wrong with a gender reveal party. I've seen it. I've seen the guy that shot and accidentally shot somebody because he was trying to shoot a target that was going to pop open and reveal like the color or something. Yeah, people are just crazy. Like
I gotta look that up now, bro. Just
it's stupid, man. If somebody blew something up trying to do that, I mean, it's just stop. Just open up a card. Just here it is. Oh, let me cut into a cake. Oh, the cake's blue. Oh, okay, it's a boy. Oh, the cake's pink. Oh, it's a girl. Okay, great, whatever. It's too much. All right, so yesterday we got. If you look at some of the dumbest gender reveals, it's insane. Yesterday, what an incredible game! Raptors Celtics. Sane, your Celtics were so close and yet so far. You and Kari are going to have to commiserate about this tomorrow because it's going to be a Game 7 tomorrow in the bubble. One of the great games. This was a fantastic basketball game. I mean, I think some of the officiating was kind of not great. That was a little bit problematic, and I think if you're a Celtics fan, you have a right to be a little bit upset about some of the officiating. But for the most part, I mean, what a game. Kyle Lowry was incredible in this game. Super clutch. Like everything that all the stuff that he used to be criticized for has just been washed away. Like he is so clutch. 33, 8, and 6, and hit huge shots down the stretch. 6 of 10 from 3. Double overtime, played 53 minutes. Just a phenomenal basketball game. High level stuff. Like saying people talk about there's a few things that like I think have been a few myths that have been sort of discredited in the bubble. One of them was, for example, like if you look yesterday, if you watch the Lakers Rockets game, and you watch the defense that they're playing, like people that say you can't defend or that defense is not part of the NBA anymore, or that it's not the same or whatever. If you watch those games, you watch how they defend. The Lakers have done a fantastic job defensively, showing you exactly how important defense really is, and they've been excellent. So watch their defense; it's been a thing of beauty. But then this one, in terms of schemes and strategies, we talked about Mike Budenholzer and not making changes, not making adjustments. But if you watched in down the stretch overtime, like second half and overtimes of this game, Nick Nurse and Brad Stevens were like going back and forth with different lineups, different adjustments. Like it was a strategic. It was really fun to watch the strategy
going back
of these two coaches going back and forth, like high level stuff all the way around.
And we talked about the value of coaches, and did we think the NBA coaches are overrated? And we said there are a couple of coaches that we feel like are worth the billing, that are worth holding on to. And we saw two of them yesterday. Just a battle of the nerds yesterday with Revenge of the Nerds with Nick Nurse and Brad Stevens going at it. But like you said, two very well coached teams. It was just a great game. Had a great ending to it, and just Kyle Lowry just went into. Somebody must have told Kyle Lowry he was playing against Mike Conley and Lionel Hollins last night, because he went into vintage. He really he went off, man. Like Kyle Lowry went off yesterday, and he was hitting some of the hugest shots in the world, making some major plays on defense, and just willed his team to a win yesterday.
It was. I thought it was it for the Raptors. I really did. But
when they jumped up and got up 6 in overtime, I thought that was it. But then they just started doing.
Well, the thing is, man, they have. You can say what you want about skill level. You talk about them not having superstars, whatever. Mm-hmm. But they really are a team.
Oh yeah,
they have a team.
They're a unit for sure.
Ethos. And they step up like Norm Powell, 10 points, in double overtime, like huge. Mm-hmm. And for all the talk about like how Kemba Walker is this, that, and the other. Kemba Walker's a star. What did Kemba Walker do yesterday?
Trash. I was just about to say that my stars let me down yesterday. Jason Tatum, he had a disappointing game. Kemba Walker was flat-foot terrible.
Kemba Walker 2 of 11, including missing a layup with 2 seconds left that would have given them the lead. Just missed a layup.
Yep.
Like I don't even know what happened to it. 5 points in 52 minutes. He has 5 points.
Yeah, man, that was crazy. Yeah, my boy Jaylen Brown.
This is your superstar? He's your superstar.
I ain't saying about
your
no
guy.
Superstar. I ain't
52 minutes. He had 5 points.
Out there looking like Tay Diggs on the court as well. I don't know if you looking like
playing like Tay Diggs.
Looking like
I think Tay Diggs would have had more than 5 points in 52 minutes.
Looked like Tay Diggs from that show he's on where he plays the football coach playing basketball.
Yeah. What is that?
Terrible.
Oh yeah.
All American.
Well, that guy would have absolutely had more than 5 points in 52 minutes for sure. 100%.
Yeah, my stars on Boston didn't do their thing. Jaylen Brown and his Tyler Perry movie hair. He didn't do much of anything either. It was crazy, man, because Portland just came with it. And I put a tweet out yesterday, and how you'll have
Toronto.
Toronto. I'm still shell shocked from the playing game. Sorry.
Portland may have come with it, but they weren't playing in this game.
But yeah, Toronto came with it, man. And I put a tweet out about Norman Powell and Mark. No, I keep saying Marcus Banks. It's Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart and Norman Powell when they got into it, right? So, because they kept looking like they wanted to throw hands, and I asked the question because I think Norman Powell might would have gave Marcus Smart the business. I ain't gonna lie, but I typed normal Powell instead of Norman Powell, and for some reason that just seemed more appropriate. But the point I'm trying to make, like Toronto just has a bunch of just regular guys, and they come in and they play team ball. They've got all-stars, of course, and Siakam and Lowry, who've been all-stars before. but they're not a star-studded team, and they get it done. They know their roles and they know what to do. I still think Boston's going to get them though. I think because if Boston if those 3 guys on Boston play up to potential, they're going to run them out of the gym. But,
well, I mean, but again, if there's a wide variance in how they play. I mean, you can't have
right. That was terrible.
Kemba Walker. I mean, Jason Tatum at least was. It wasn't his greatest game, but he's 29, 14, and 9. I mean, that's a very good game. In spite of the fact that it wasn't maybe at the absolute, he threw the ball away.
It was terrible.
Although we got to talk about that. We got to talk about that for a second. Nick Nurse is out there on the court. Basically, he threw it to Nick Nurse. Now he should know Nick better, but Nick Nurse is is literally standing. If you watch the replay of him just throwing the ball away, initially it looks like what's he doing? He's throwing the ball away. Nick Nurse is down in a stance, like he's about ready to take this jump shot. Like he's down and he's on the court. Like he's literally on the court.
Right.
And Jaylen Brown talked about it, but he's you got to stop. You can't let that happen. You cannot have that, man. The NBA's got to do something about some of this stuff, man. It's ridiculous. So this game also was the first time in NBA history that 8 different players played 50 minutes or more in a game. Yeah. 8 different players played at least 50 minutes in this game. I don't even know what they're going to have left for Game 7. Like these dudes are going to be absolutely exhausted. And although he played good defense in the second half, my guy Pascal Siakam, oh boy. 54 minutes. He scores 12 points on 19 shots in 54 minutes. For a guy that's a star.
It's your boy. The next.
That's what I'm saying, man. I just can't. I can't. It's hard for me to justify that. I can't. I love the guy.
I've been screaming from the rooftops. I don't know how Toronto is this good. I understand that they play perfect team basketball, but Pascal Siakam is your all-star. I don't really think I think he's a great player, but I don't think he's. I don't think he's an all-star in the West. I just think he's he's an energy guy that can score. That can score a lot, but he came back down. He's been coming back down to earth as of late. But they find a way.
That's for sure. We'll talk more about it when we continue. Also, on the other side, I got some the other game from last night. An interesting reaction from one of your favorite players. We'll talk about that when we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
R&R on Sports, Saturday mornings, 10 a.m., Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1. Don't miss us.
We have all heard of Casper, the sleep company with outrageously comfortable products at not so outrageous prices. From award-winning mattresses to pillows, sheets, and duvets, Casper transforms the way we sleep, one snooze at a time. And with their Labor Day sale, you can experience the Casper comfort with a brand new mattress now featuring Zone Support. The original mattress provides the support and cooling that you need with the comfort you love. 4 layers of premium foam are designed to provide pressure relief for all-night comfort. Now with Zone Support, designed to be softer under the shoulders and firmer under hips to help align your spine. From bedding, bed frames, and even a dog bed, Casper has everything you need to build the bed of your dreams. And as always, free shipping and free returns. Get 10% off your entire order right now through September 14th with the code COMFORT10. Offer expires September 14th at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Time. Excludes the Element mattress bundles and sale items. Limit 1 offer per customer and order. Please see Casper.com/terms for additional terms and conditions.
It is time for the final clearance sale at James Davis Men's Store in the Laurelwood Shopping Center. Listen to this, 70 to 80% off on all spring and summer merchandise. You heard me, James Davis, 70 to 80% off on all spring and summer merchandise. Unreal selection of sports coats and sports shirts for your next Zoom call. Limited selection of shorts and knits, but there are some. If you get there, you'll get 70 to 80% off. Here's some of the brands you can save on during this incredible sale. Peter Millar, Sandstrom, Mac 5 Pocket. I'm talking 70 to 80% off while it lasts. The only place in Memphis that you can find the Stant custom shirt and pants system. Only at James Davis, this exclusive store for this unique custom fitting apparel where shirts start as low as $98, pants at $168. Go see it to believe it. The clearance sale at James Davis.
And paid for by Progression. Are you being denied credit? Are you getting hit with high interest rates because of a low credit score? Bad credit happens to good people. In fact, millions of Americans are victims of incorrect or unfair items on the credit report without even knowing. But don't worry, because the Credit Repair Helpline is here for you. We'll communicate with creditors and the credit bureaus on your behalf to address unfairly reported items like late payments, collections, charge-offs, and even bankruptcies, which can lead to a higher credit score. Our proven process has helped hundreds of thousands of people just like you see meaningful improvements to their credit profile. Working to repair your credit today can help you get the new car, new home, or new job you've always wanted. Call 800-939-2371 now and get your free credit score. Call 800-939-2371 to start working to restore your credit. The call is free and the credit evaluation is free. So call 800-939-2371. That's 800-939-2371. Start building your credit today. Again, 800-939-2371.
Have you thought about the holidays yet? Our friends at Window Genie not only clean windows, gutters, and concrete, they also hang holiday lights. Window Genie has a Christmas light rental program that includes custom design, installation, maintenance, takedown, and storage for your home or office. The best part, they're offering 15% off if you book by November 1st. Spend more time with friends and family this year and less time on the ladder. Call today for a free estimate, 901-424-4100. Window Genie, 901-424-4100.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
It's Kane! That's Kane's music!
Easily one of the most feared wrestlers, like, in my time.
The only mayor, you talk about mayor, he's a mayor. Kane is a mayor.
Literally
a mayor. Knox County, Tennessee. Like, you're not the mayor of Westwood. Michael Butler is. But Kane is the mayor of Knox County. Literally. Glenn Jacobs, a.k.a. Kane, is a mayor right now.
That is true.
So, when we talk about mayors, give some respect to Kane.
I'm late coming back from the show. I'm still sore as hell.
Yeah.
A lot of things are easy it's easier to go down than it is to get back up. So.
So that's what I've heard. That's the rumor on the street. But I'll leave that to you. Let me hear. So the other game last night, the Clippers have taken a 3-1 series lead over the Nuggets, 96-85. Pretty ugly game for the Nuggets. Whatever happened to Jamal Murray? Wasn't he great?
He was emerging as the star of the
next superstar,
of
star
the
of
league.
stars. And it turns out the Jazz defense is just pretty bad. And,
people have to understand, guys get on hot streaks, man. These are NBA players. They're all capable of going off for 30, 40, 50-point nights if they get hot enough. Jeremy Lin, for example. So,
yeah, not all of them, but some of them.
Man, if you're a guy who has the ball in your hands, who's a perimeter player with the ball in your hands, you're probably good enough to do that if you get hot enough.
I mean, in the right situation, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so they really struggled. But what I was most intrigued by was the post-game comments from our friend Maga Porter Jr. Who played 34 minutes in the game, took just 8 shots, scored 15 points on his 8 shots. You remember last game he took 18 shots in 20 minutes to score 17 points. If there's anything he likes as a rookie, it's to shoot.
Yeah.
So, Mike, when that happens, is that?
Oh, easy, a little premature on that, Zach.
I know. I was trying to time it right, man.
Okay, after the game, the reporters had a couple questions for Maga Porter Jr.
So, Mike, when that happens, is that a situation where you just need to demand the ball more on offense? You're looking for sets to be run, or you need to cut more? What are you looking to do to get yourself more involved when you're not touching the ball?
I mean, that's really up to the play calls. It's really up to the coaches who they want to put the ball in whose hand. We kept going to Yoke and Maul, and that's, I think they're two amazing players, so you can never get mad at that. But I just think to beat that team, we got to get more players involved. We got to move the ball a little bit better. We can't be predictable against that team.
Keep it going. Keep it going here.
All right, we'll go back to Mike Singer. Mike, go ahead.
Mike, are you at a place, I know it's your rookie year, but are you in a place where you can voice that concern and that thought to Malone, or do you just kind of just let him dictate?
Nah, I think, if I'm going to be out there on the floor playing a lot of minutes, I think I should voice that. So I'll probably talk to the coaches, just tell them what I see being out there on the floor, just letting them know, look, like they know what we're doing. Like, we got to swing the ball. We got a lot of players who can play basketball and score, so we got to get some more guys involved.
I don't want this dude anywhere near any of you.
Yeah.
What is happening right
Shout out to Michael Porter Jr., man. Hey, you know what? I saw that tweet.
He's played like 30 games in his career.
Right. And his back can go out at any minute. But we got to take this to the next break. We can't kill this going into this commercial break. We got to talk about this when we come back. No, we can't.
We'll talk about it. No, we got Fred. We got to talk to Fred. But we'll talk to Fred. But then we'll talk about it though.
Yeah.
But I mean, I heard that. I watched that after the game. I was, oh my God, this is
talking about calling your own shot, man.
I mean, Dylan Brooks, baby. This is Dylan Brooks-esque right here. It's on a different level altogether. My man has played. I mean, he's literally played a handful of NBA games. I don't know. It's absurd.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it.
Yeah, I'm saving mine.
Yeah. After we talk to Fred Jones, though, the head honcho of the Southern Heritage Classic, can't wait to talk to Fred about what has happened and what unfortunately has not happened. We'll do that when we continue here live from the Family Leisure Studios. Hour number 2 on the way. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Ben Swinger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 125 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Ben Swinger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. 2 Memphis locations, one in Midtown, on Hollywood Street across from the Liberty Bowl, and one in Cordova, off Germantown Parkway next to the Fox & Hound. Visit their website, benswingerglass.com. Ben Swinger Glass.
Have you dreamed of owning a car that starts every time when you turn the key? A used car that looks good and doesn't break down when you go somewhere? Call 901-380-5800. Victory Auto Sales now. Do you want a car that doesn't come with a set of jumper cables in the front seat? Do you want a car that gets good gas mileage and really is reliable transportation? Call 901-380-5800. Victory Auto Sales now, or check out the website at victoryauto.org. Call or visit Victory Auto Sales at 4885 Elmore, just off Covington Pike now, for a car you can afford and financing that doesn't take your whole paycheck. When you call Victory Auto Sales at 380-5800, you can throw away the jumper cables. When you buy a car from Victory Auto Sales, the tow truck driver will no longer be your best friend. Call Victory Auto Sales now, 901-380-5800, for a car that really is reliable transportation. Call 901-380-5800 now. That's Victory Auto Sales. VictoryAuto.org.
I'm here with the great Pat Donahue from the Rendezvous Restaurant Shipping Department.
Thanks, Brett. We've been shipping our ribs all over the country now for decades from our USDA-inspected shipping kitchen in the Pinch District. We hand-cook our ribs in pits that Mr. Charlie built over charcoal, just like they do at the restaurant.
So what comes in a rib box?
We could do pork shoulder, we could do ribs, our sauce, seasoning, baked beans, coleslaw. We'll even throw in Pancho's cheese dip with our nacho boxes. We also put a bag of Rendezvous seasoned popcorn, heating instructions, some chef hats, some wet naps, and some other helpful tips from our kitchen. We ship our ribs overnight. exclusively FedEx. When we put them in nice packaging, we don't ever want to use styrofoam, so we use corrugated cardboard, actually 2 boxes that fit nice together, so the ribs get to you, your loved ones, or your clients in a safe, wholesome manner. Rendezvous ribs are perfect for out-of-town clients, customers, loved ones. We also ship ribs for any occasion.
Where do we order these great ribs?
You can go to www.hogsfly.com or give us a call at 1-888-464-7359.
Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous Restaurant in the alley since 1948.
Start your day at Sunrise Memphis. Located in Midtown, enjoy delicious biscuit sandwiches and all their menu has to offer with quick and easy to-go and delivery options. Whether it's breakfast, brunch, or lunch, don't distance yourself from great food. For more information on Sunrise Memphis, visit sunrise901.com or call 901-552-3144 to place your order. Stay healthy and eat Sunrise Memphis today.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
Right now, roadways are open on Neely Road north of Holmes Road near Lorraine after a fatal car accident overnight. So those roadways are open on Neely Road. We also have a crash on Cottonwood between Goodlet and Perkins. We have a power outage in parts of downtown Memphis. Treat all the lights that are out as a 4-way stop. Also, we have delays on Bill Morris Parkway, westbound towards I-240. The left lane is blocked, so go ahead and merge on over to the right. And that is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good. I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Who is this, Zach? I don't recognize this.
Andre the Giant.
I had no clue what his music was.
Andre the Giant didn't have any music when I remember.
I don't remember having music either.
Oh, he didn't?
He just walked to the ring. He just big and just walked to the ring. And was like, yep.
Walked to the ring Andre. Big as hell. That's his music.
Yeah.
Sound of big people.
his giant back blotted out all noise. It was just, you couldn't even hear it. He was so big. He crushed those speakers. Hour number 2 is here live from the Family Leisure Studio. I'm Peter. He's Sane. We have had a big show already. We got lots to get to. We'll talk to our friend Dustin Starr coming up at 9 o'clock. We're going to get back into all that nonsense that we just talked about. We're going to get back into that coming up in just a little bit. But it is a pleasure to talk to the founder of the Southern Heritage Class Cultural Celebration. Unfortunately, won't be happening this year because of the COVID situation. You can already go ahead and prepare for next year, September 9th through 11th, that weekend. Go ahead and just get that marked on your calendar in 2021. But Fred Jones, kind enough to join us this morning. Good morning, Fred. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're good. We're good.
Doing great, Fred. First of all, talk to us about the process of what these last few weeks and months have been for you guys. There's so much time, energy, work that goes into the Classic, not just the game, not just Jackson State, Tennessee State, but you got so many events that go on: the parades of fashion shows, the dinner, the golf tournament, the whole thing. It's become a massive event for many days. And you guys have had to say we can't do it this year. How did that process work, and what has that meant for you, Fred?
Well, let me start with the last question first. Not only for me, but for Classic fans and supporters, it was a big disappointment. Something that you look forward to for 30 years, and it's not there. Sometimes it's hard to even say. We canceled the Southern Heritage Classic, but that's what happened. Big disappointment. What happened was that the directives from the Shelby County Health Department was pretty clear for us. First, the concert went away. Then there was no tailgate. There was no parade. Early on, it was going to be 6 foot of separation. Then they changed it to 12, which is what the University of Memphis and Arkansas State had to deal with 4,500 people. The band had to be 12 feet apart. No halftime show. Didn't leave us with much. So once you take all those away,
right.
it was no Southern Heritage Classic as we have, as we have known for over 30 years. So it wasn't a choice. It's what COVID-19 has left us with, and we just had to deal with it. And to deal with it was to cancel the event for this year.
Mr. Jones, I'm sure that you're constantly planning making plans years ahead of time for your events. Have you thought about next year if we are in somewhat of a similar situation as far as the pandemic is concerned? Have you thought of different ways you could be more creative about doing something for the Classic, or where are you at as far as this is concerned?
Well, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. It's without some kind of cure, some kind of vaccine, I think we're all going to be faced with some of these same questions come 2021. But right now, I'm just trying to get over deal with what we have right now, and that's why we're doing the rewind this Saturday. But to answer your question about planning, we have the Classic plan contracts with the city and with the schools through 2024. So it's a long-term process, but right now we just have to deal with what we all have to deal with, COVID-19, and we'll see what happens.
You've talked about the rewind. What went into the idea of trying to replay a game from a couple of years back and try to bring something to it this Saturday?
Well, it's similar to what we all had to face with pro sports and college football in general. They played a lot of replays and to kind of stay connected. The one thing that you don't want to do is have a disconnected from your fans and from your base. Unfortunately, we've had to cancel the game 2 times in the last 3 years. So we needed something to kind of bridge this gap, to bridge this time, just like the other sports have done, and we were able to get the last game, which we had televised, which was 2017, and that's what we're going to show this week.
Did you hear anything from the particular schools as far as or did it cross your mind at all to possibly want to play the game with no fans, or did the 2 schools say they still want to play the game? Did anything like that happen in conversation?
Yeah, I mean, there was conversations, but you hear this all the time that no fans is not a really viable option. For us, there's no option at all because we have a lot of financial considerations that we have to go into this. I mean, each one of the schools are guaranteed $350,000 a piece. So,
right.
And all the other things that you have to have, financially that you have to take care of. So for us, no fans, limited fans was not a viable option.
Right. I totally understand. When you we know about the success of the Classic. You've been doing it for over 30 years. I remember, pretty much all of my life in school. Whenever school got started, that was one of the first things we talked about was the Classic coming to town. You got guys like Drake who talk about it in songs. It's a major thing here in the city of Memphis. Tell us more about how you got it started. We see the final product of it, the success of it over the years. Tell us more about how you got this whole project from being something in your mind to something that we see on the football field.
Well, let's start with the football game. The football game, they played for years, and with relatively little success. I mean, you would play, but not at the magnitude that it has grown to. Mm-hmm. So I was at a point where I wanted to do something else, and I wanted to do something else in Memphis. Memphis is my hometown. And so they allowed me to take the football game and really model it after the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is a football game, and they built a lot of things around it to build it up what we see today. You have concerts, halftime, pageantry. There's something that's going on for everybody built into that. So we wanted to I took that model from the football game and changed it, and what we call it the Southern Heritage Classic. In fact, I worked on it for months and didn't even have a name for the event, and finally had come to a point where I got to, what are you going to call this thing? But it was the idea of creating something that we could have longevity, and that was something that was a major concern for the two schools. If we're going to do it, we need someone to take it and give it a plan, and the plan was the Southern Heritage Class in Memphis. And for me, I mean, I'm a native Memphian. I've been in the entertainment business now for around 50 years, and I've traveled all over the country doing all types of events. But the idea was to create something in Memphis, in your hometown, and that became the Southern Heritage Classic.
Mr. Jones, you've been doing this in Memphis for a long time, for over 30 years, and we look at now when you see the NBA is doing things to shed a light on equality and awareness for issues that concern black people, as well as the University of Memphis with the helmet and things that they're doing. But what you're doing, what you've been doing for a long time as a black man, did you encounter any obstacles as far as that's concerned? I mean, you weren't doing this in the best era of the country. You know what I mean? You were doing this back in, you know what I mean? You're doing this in a different time. So, and you're definitely a pioneer as far as it's concerned. So what was it like being a black man in America and in the South, really, to pull off something like this? Can you speak on that for me?
Yeah, if you look backwards, you kind of say, how did I get through all of this? Because nobody really believed that it could happen. I was told point blank, it'll never be successful in them. And I remember when we was at the office and they told me that, I backed out of the office. I wouldn't walk out with my back. I just kind of backed out, and I just, I don't know what I was thinking about at that time, but it never occurred to me not to try it.
Right.
And the thing that growing up in that era of colored fountains and sitting on the back of the bus and all of that. I mean, I grew up with that as a young man, but this was an opportunity to step forward in a big way. And I remember Robert Jennings, who was the sports guy at the Commercial Appeal. Obviously, this was years and years and years ago. He wrote a story about, we need to look at this a little bit closer because we are not telling the real story. So being able to persevere through all of that to get to where we are today when they talk about $25 million generated over the weekend. You talk about more than $12 million that the schools have earned over the course of the Classic. You talk about the families and the camaraderie and the reunions and all of that. You know, it makes it real worth it. But again, there were obstacles, but I have to say that there were people that, well, I should say at least one person who saw the vision from the first day. So it kind of countered all the naysayers that it never was going to be successful, and we were able to get it done. And this was a white guy at that time who said to me from the very first day I met him that if we pull this off, you're going to have the biggest event in this town, and he was right.
Yeah.
For the way that it's all come together over the years, and we've talked about it on the show here a few times. The idea, you have historically black, colleges, universities, HBCUs around the country, in lots of economic challenges, like a lot of universities certainly are, TSU, JSU among them. The importance, Fred, of group economics, of keeping money within black-owned businesses, black communities, of creating an environment with these HBCUs where young black men and women can thrive and generate connections that can help them grow in business. How important from an economic standpoint is the Classic and is doing things like that to keep this going for the next generation?
Well, the Classic is a good example of what can be done. I should say there was a lot of attention given to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Wall Street. There was the Black Wall Street, where they were thriving, things were doing well. And you take the Classic is thriving, but a lot of people benefit economically from the Classic. That's one of the really down parts of this weekend. Those people who have grown to depend on this economically are going to be impacted. Some of the, especially in the black community, if you are a caterer, if people are putting up tents and doing small things that people wouldn't think that would be profitable. Like if you got a shoe shine business, if you got a car washing business, all of those things get impacted when you have an event like the Classic. You're selling novelties and stuff like that. Your biggest payday is going to be doing the Southern Heritage Classic. So that's why it becomes important that we do something like the Rewind to stay connected for the future. So we can say, okay, now we can't do the Classic this year. Let's enjoy it in the comfort of our homes or wherever we want to. Today you can watch it on your watch, see it on your phone or whatever, and because you really want to be around for the future. And I think the Classic has become a real staple in the community, and that's why you want to do everything you can to stay connected to the fan base, to the supporters of the Classic, and so that we can have a future whenever there's the other side of this COVID-19.
Well, we think that you made a good decision, a sound decision by putting all types of people's safety in mind with your decision. When you see college football kind of carrying on is pretty much as usual, except for the fans, of course, and high school trying to play football and things like that. What are your thoughts as someone who you made this decision a while ago? You haven't backed off of it. You haven't had any, you haven't came back and said, well, we may try and see it if this happens or that happens. You made a clear decision a while ago. Well, what do you feel when you see college football in general trying to proceed as normal and whatever normal is right now?
Well, it's not normal.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
And all of the things that the information, and this is one thing that I did. I gathered as much information as I can. The information today is the same information that was in May and June. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's why in the Power 5, the Big Ten and the Pac-10 can make one decision, and
right.
some of the others can make another decision. But the information is the same. It's very difficult to play a contact sports. The transmission, got super spreaders when you have big crowds.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another thing, going back to the directive from the health department, they haven't changed that. We in level 2 right now and have been since June 15th.
Right.
It hadn't changed. So when it was for me, you had to make the decision based on what you had, but the other people had the same information as well. None of that information, either locally or nationally, has changed. And as soon as these students, they said, when they come back to school, there was going to be a problem. Guess what? They get back to school, they got a big problem. Some of them got to send their students back home. But the information has been the same for months.
Right.
It hasn't changed. It hasn't. Well, it really has changed. It's gotten worse. But I'm just saying, my decision was based on what was
right.
the scientists and the doctors were saying. And again, we made this decision based on what was at the time and was in the best interest of the Southern Heritage Classic and the people of Memphis.
Mr. Jones, you came through an era where, as far as HBCUs are concerned, there was a lot more talent. There were a lot more African-American students and athletes that were going to these schools. I mean, you saw it all the time. We're far from that now. Do you think that you'll see that, maybe not the same level it was, back in the day, but do you think you'll see something close to a resurgence of more African-American families funneling their students and their athletes towards HBCUs?
I think it will. I mean, it's one thing that people they've used this as a way of recruiting all the top athletes. Well, you come play with us, we're going to be on television, and we're going to do all of this stuff. And we got all the best facilities, got all of that. Okay, but if you are a top athlete and you can play, the next level is going to find you.
Right.
So to say that if you went to Tennessee State or Jackson State, you can't get to the next level, or there's going to be, that's been debunked. Every year there's a group of NBA scouts that come to the Southern Heritage Classic game. Every year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I think to answer your question, there will be more, and if we continue to do the things that we're doing, the Southern Heritage Classic is on the radar across the country. And with the rewind on this Saturday at 7 o'clock, we're going to put it on the platform in a really big way where you can see what the Southern Heritage Classic and these two schools are about.
Mm-hmm.
Nationally and internationally. If you're in Europe, if you log in to, if you got a computer, you'll be able to log in to the Southern Heritage Classic Rewind. So you're gonna take the messaging on these two schools, Tennessee State and Jackson State, the city of Memphis, the event, into a whole nother level, and that's an exciting thing, which would help with the athlete part that you're talking about.
Well, it's going to say. I know we've got to we got to take a break here, but we appreciate so much your your time. And thank you for I think especially for making this decision when you did, because it was one of the first ones to do it, and a very difficult one, especially as you said, because you guys have had to cancel the game 2 times in the last 3 years. That crazy weather that came through, that was just insane. So it's a very, very difficult decision for so many reasons, but I think you set a really strong example, and so I appreciate that. And I also appreciate all the work and everything that you've done for the city. It's always a pleasure talking to you, Fred. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, and I love talking to you. And we're going to look forward for brighter days in a lot of different fronts. I think we all need it. Mm-hmm. So thank you very much. Have a great day.
Appreciate you, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. He's the founder of the Southern Heritage Classic. Among many other business ventures, former part owner of the Grizzlies. He's been in the entertainment. He worked with some of the biggest acts in music and entertainment for years and years. Fred Jones is a vital part. Yeah. He's a legend, man. He's a legend, and I think he talked about how difficult it was, how tough the decision was, how it's not easy for anybody. They're doing the rewind, so you can definitely check out the 2017 game as it streams this Saturday.
Go to SouthernHeritageClassic.com to get more information about that. SouthernHeritageClassic.com. You can find all the streaming links. It's available. They'll be available to watch it. Looks like it's going to be available on multiple formats. So, yeah.
Yeah, you can go on your Roku, on your Fire Stick. Probably on your bootleg stick. Saying,
I'm sure there
is. Don't bootleg this one. Don't bootleg this one. Don't bootleg the classic.
I want him to get all the streaming numbers he can. I don't want any numbers to be off the grid.
I should ask Fred about that. I should ask Fred about that.
Yeah,
Fred, how do you feel about Anthony saying bootlegging the classic?
No, you should ask him about people with bootleg shirts, because
that's another vital industry that's being hurt by all this. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back and we'll continue here. We'll get back into that Michael Porter Jr. business plus a whole lot more. The Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
Commitment, dedication, perseverance. At FedEx, our people are our strength. Even during these unprecedented times, we are delivering medical supplies, test kits, and the things you need every day. Helping the world move forward together. Strength, what we deliver by delivering. FedEx.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
I want to do some bragging rights. Hey, I was just the other day overhearing a conversation with Big Mike, the manager of DeSoto Auto Sales. They've got people buying cars all over the country. North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, Texas. People from all over the country buy cars at DeSoto Auto Sales in Olive Branch, Mississippi. Why? DeSoto Auto Sales has the most stringent car inspection in America. They get it right the first time. Quality and low mileage. Factory warranty on most vehicles. My favorite part is the people who work there. Big Mike, all the employees are professional, friendly, and go that extra mile. Expect as you walk in the door, you're treated like family. DeSoto Auto Sales understands your time matters. We can help you find your dream car and get all the paperwork finished in less than an hour. Come see us at DeSoto Auto Sales and be part of our family. Have a great buying experience every time. 662-890-7184.
Price here for Brian Elder Roofing. The storms we've had over the past several months have been devastating to our communities. The rainy season is ahead. You may have not even noticed the dripping in your attic, water stains throughout your home, or even worse, mold and mildew. Please call Brian Elder Roofing and we will send out our project managers to assess any damage. We will not try to sell you a roof if all you need is a repair. We will measure your roof from outer space. 0% for 60 months, even no payments till 2022 are available with approved credit. If you've noticed missing shingles, water stains, leaks in your roof, call us before you call your insurance company at 867-0303. That's 867-0303, and we will provide a free, thorough inspection of your roof's condition.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
There's a new commissary in town in Collierville. Germantown Commissary is doubling. Yeah, they're still going to have the old Germantown Commissary by the tracks, but now there's a huge new Germantown Commissary in Collierville at Poplar and Houston Levee Road. It's huge, too. There's a drive-through. There's plenty of parking, no telephone pole to get in your way, a cool patio. It's right by the track, so the tradition continues. And this is a tradition that's been around forever. That commissary is famous for hickory-smoked, slow-cooked Memphis-style barbecue. They've got a private party room at the new one in Collierville. Self-catering still continues. Party packs for $5.95. Basically, the great ribs, the great pulled shoulder, the great deviled eggs. Everything is there in Collierville and Germantown now. So there is now a Germantown and Collierville style of barbecue. It's called Germantown Commissary.
Sports 56 traffic.
The accident on Bill Morris Parkway, the lanes have been open. Both lanes are open. Both cars are on the right shoulder. I-240 westbound on Bill Morris Parkway, so keep that in mind. Also, don't forget about the power outage in parts of downtown. All lights, treat them as a four-way stop. Also, we have a officer incident out in Fayette County on Fortune, the 900 block of Fortune Road. They have that area blocked off in Fayette County, so just keep that in mind as you hit the roadways. As this is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Is this Rob Van Dam?
Yep.
One of a kind. It's wrestling music Thursday to celebrate our friend Dustin Starr joining us. RVD.
The most.
You like RVD?
The most blatant copyright infringement ever in the history of wrestling.
I think he's one of the wrestlers I think my mom kind of banned me from watching. I want to say
because his name had "damn" in.
Yeah.
I knew that's what you were gonna say.
It's just no indictment to my mom, none at all. Like I want to say Booker T, his catchphrase, and I think RDV.
Rob Van Dam.
Yeah.
RVD.
Well, Zach, I'm glad that like myself, you escaped the walls of what's the word I'm trying to say?
Jericho.
Of shelter. I'm glad that you've escaped that as well. I've escaped so much. My kid curses and it comes stuff we talk about on the radio.
Well, but see, the thing is, like, it's certain things that my parents had taught me, I still do to this day. Like, honestly, like, I don't really leave the house past 10. Like, if it's not an emergency, like, I'm not leaving the house.
I told you, Zach, you're an 85-year-old man in a 25-year-old man's body.
Man.
So that's one thing I know about you. You eat like a nice little sandwich and like you just sit back and read and check out what's going on. Maybe take a little nap. I mean, it's incredible.
Why worry yourself to death, man?
I mean, listen, which is great. Sometimes it's great. Like, for example, after the show, might not be a bad idea to go check out what's going on at Sunrise. Sunrise is a great spot. Anthony talked about he and his girl going over there.
Yeah, man, it's all the time.
Sunday? Did you guys go Sunday?
We went. What day? Yeah, Sunday. We went
Sunday.
Yep.
Chorizo bowl.
I had the chorizo bowl. She had the shrimp and grits, and they were both incredible.
I mean,
I might end up going today after this workout if they're still open.
Oh, is your man gonna be okay with you going to Sunrise?
Yeah, he's gonna have to be. He's gonna have to be. Bet there.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd tell him that. I don't know.
Yeah, he might be listening.
You might be. I guarantee you, he's listening because I know he's a listener. So,
well, he told me I can do what I need to do to refuse recharge whatever. So.
Well, I think you can make it work. Like for example, you got the
big boy chorizo bowl.
They got the fit biscuit, so it's like a turkey bacon, egg white. It's good. Like you can go a little healthier.
I'm good on that.
On the biscuit, or you can get that fried green tomato with the pimento cheese sunrise sauce. That fried green tomato they do is amazing. I love the Three Amigos tacos. That's the one that's got the chorizo as part of it. Also the potatoes, salted, the salsa verde, the cotija cheese on those corn tortillas. It's fantastic. If you want something a little sweeter, they got that French toast with the banana bread. It's really, really, really good. And yeah, as you mentioned, you can go for breakfast right now, and of course lunch is available too. And you mentioned that chorizo bowl, but there truly are health. So Zach, here's something for you, buddy. They got a beautiful salad with a mixed berry, spinach, goat cheese, honey walnuts, avocado with a strawberry vinaigrette. Sounds pretty good, right?
That sounds nice.
And you can add some chicken to it if you want, but you don't. So I'm just saying you can keep it veggie if you want. They got plenty of good veggie friendly type things for you. It's so good. Sunrise Memphis, sunrise901.com. You can find out more there. You can also just grab it and go. Call in your order at 552-3144, 552-3144, and you go right in that little side door and grab it and get out of there. It's a real quick way to make breakfast, lunch better for you. Just because you got all this other stuff going on, man, you still got to eat right, eat local, eat good. Sunrise, Memphis. All right, so what do you want to say about Michael Porter Jr.? We talked about a half hour ago about the outrageous comments from Michael Porter Jr.
Do we need to remind the people again?
Yeah, remind the people.
Remind
the people what he was saying after a game in which he, again, he's a rookie now. Reminder: this is of Michael Porter Jr., who has literally played in his career 55 regular season games and 11 playoff games. So 66 games. He's not even played a full season of basketball yet. And here's what he had to say after a pivotal Game 4 playoff game.
So, Mike, when that happens, is that a situation where you just need to demand the ball more on offense? You're looking for sets to be run, or you need to cut more? What are you looking to do to get yourself more involved when you're not touching the ball?
I mean, that's really up to the play calls. It's really up to the coaches who they want to put the ball in whose hand. We kept going to Yoke and Maul, and that's I think they're two amazing players, so you can never get mad at that. But I just think to beat that team, we got to get more players involved. We got to move the ball a little bit better. We can't be predictable against that team.
All right, I have no hands right now. All right, we'll go back to Mike Singer. Mike, go ahead.
Mike, are you at a place, I know it's your rookie year, but are you in a place where you can voice that concern and that thought to Malone, or do you just kind of just let him dictate?
Nah, I think, if I'm going to be out there on the floor playing a lot of minutes, I think I should voice that. So I'll probably talk to the coaches, just tell them what I see being out there on the floor, just letting them know, look, like they know what we're doing. Like, we got to swing the ball. We got a lot of players who can play basketball and score, so we got to get some more guys involved.
That dude's got to calm down, man. Like, I'm a Michael Porter Jr. guy. I'm a Michael Porter Jr. guy, man. But I remember even when he got drafted the year we drafted Jaren, and I was a big if Michael Porter Jr. is healthy, I want him at 4. That was I was on that big time. Like, just take him. If he's healthy, take him. But something I also was hearing is that this is who he is. Like, he's one of those guys who, he carries himself like he's the greatest player ever, which isn't always the bad thing. I'm not against having guys on my team who think they're amazing, who think they're better than they actually are. I can get with it. That's the mind state of a guy who you want to be your superstar. But I heard that he was almost one of those guys that can be a coaching problem. That's something I heard as far as his scouting report is concerned. But Media members ask some weird questions sometimes, and they ask questions that kind of put guys in a position where they have to avoid turning into a soundbite like this. You know what I mean? And he definitely didn't answer it the best way. But it's crazy to think that for him to say that. But I mean, he's not necessarily wrong. You know what I mean? So, but it's just the fact that he came out and said it is.
Well, okay. So I mean, again, even if he's not wrong, it's not exactly his area to say that at this point in his career.
But he would also answer the question though. Like two goofballs asked him questions that put him in that position where he had to.
Why would you say what do you mean goofball?
Because
those are both good questions.
Why ask the question that the only one answer is acceptable? You know what I mean?
That's the job. The job is to ask interesting questions. That's interesting questions. She asked the first question was about how does he what does he want to do, or does he have any idea? And he could have very easily said, "Listen, it's not my place to say that right now." Said, "I'm just going to listen to what the coaches say. We'll talk about it behind the scenes. We're good to go."
I'm not a fan of asking guys questions where if they say this, they're saying something extremely stupid. Like that's especially when.
Why would you? But you're not their dad. It's not your job to like not.
I understand. I'm not saying I am, but I'm definitely not defending Michael Porter Jr. because he's obvious goof. I mean, we clown about him all the time on the show, but I mean, what is she expecting?
Am I not supposed to ask Dylan Brooks any questions at all?
Because
Dylan is going to be.
What do you want the man to say? Like, do you want him to say, yeah, they should have got me the ball more? I mean, what's the point of even asking him that?
I want him to say whatever he feels like saying.
But why ask that kind of question, though, bro?
Because I would be interested. Listen to the. You know what kind of questions I ask.
Yeah,
you know what kind of questions I ask.
No crap like what they just asked. You ask good questions.
Listen to the question. Listen to the question. Zach, play that question one more time. I want to hear the question again. I wasn't even really paying
which
that much
one?
attention to it. The first one. Let me hear the first one.
So, Mike, when that happens, is that a situation where you just need to demand the ball more on offense? You're looking for sets to be run, or you need to cut more? What are you looking to do to get yourself more involved when you're not touching the ball?
Okay, so see, that's a fine question. Like, she wants to know, like, what do you do if you're not touching the ball? Like, he probably, I'm sure before that cut, he probably said something about he didn't touch the ball that much. Mm-hmm. And so she says, okay, well, when you're not touching the ball that much, what do you do? Do you talk to the coaches? Do you run more stuff? Like, how do you get yourself more involved? That's a perfectly reasonable question. And he could have just said, like, I'm trying to just get open. I'm doing the best I can to run the sets that we run. And that would be that. I mean, he didn't have to. He took that in a whole different direction. And then once he took it in that direction, then the other guy says, "Okay, well, do you feel comfortable talking to the coach about that?"
That second question
again,
was
a perfectly reasonable question,
bro. The second question was dumb.
No, it wasn't.
That guy
That's a perfectly reasonable question.
Searching for a soundbite, bro. Like the second guy.
Every question is searching for a soundbite.
The first question, I can kind of get it. I kind of get what she's saying. That second guy, he was searching for a soundbite, man.
What do you mean searching for a soundbite? You want interesting things. You want interesting things. That's our job. Say interesting things.
Man, my whole stance.
And what he said is very interesting. And what he said, that's interesting.
Free Michael Porter Jr., man. Get him out. Get him away from these bums with Denver, man. Get that dude on a real team where they can appreciate his greatness. That's what
he's thinking. In his mind, that's what he's thinking. But
change my tone in the middle of this whole conversation.
But the whole thing. But the whole point of it is all he has to do. Like when the guy asked the question, the second question is like, he says, "So do you feel comfortable talking to Mike Malone about that? You know, the coach." Mm-hmm. He could have said, "No, I don't, because I'm a rookie."
He said, "Yeah, I need to be out here."
Like, I mean, like it's not. This is what I mean. Like, I get irritated when people act like these guys aren't grown-ups. He's just an adult. Like, he can answer a question. He doesn't have to be babysat. This is what annoys me. A lot of organizations are starting to do this now with their players. Like you have to send in an email like, oh, what are the topics that we're going to cover? What are we going these are children.
You said that like you meant it, man. Like you've been there before, man.
I have been there many times, and it's annoying. It's ridiculous. These are grown up. These are grown human beings. I don't mind like putting a little outline of, but like what you're going to talk about. Like this is what it is. Like. It isn't. I remember having a conversation with Dave Yeager a long time ago about this whole thing, and it just blew my mind.
Yeager.
He said, when you ask a question, I'm thinking about like, why are you asking that question? Like, what are you trying to say, and what are you trying to get me to say? And then I'm saying, like, it's not that. I just want you to answer however you want to answer. Like, I'm not trying. This is not some elaborate trap that I'm trying to lay the groundwork for something. It's ridiculous, man.
Get it all out,
so
man.
that's why I told him. I was like. I'm not. There's no. agenda. Why didn't you play this player? That's it. There's no this guy asked. He said, "Hey, ask Dave White and play me." Like, there's none of that. It's just I want to know. I'm asking you a question. Like, it's not. It's this drive. They treat these guys like sometimes some organizations treat them like they are 5 years old and they have no conception of how to answer a question that might not be 100% expected. Like. That's part of it, man. You got to be a professional.
You know, I get it, brother. I totally agree with you. We cover the same team, so I get what you're saying. But you also understand that in the soundbite, let's make something go viral.
I get it.
That stuff is real, man.
This is why I have always said, and I've told the Grizzlies this specifically. I've told other people to cover the NBA because obviously that's what I'm most involved with. This is why you need a TV / visual media thing, and then you need a print / whatever thing. You need two different media groups because they have two different agendas about what they're doing. The TV folks are looking for sound bites. That's what they're asking sort of open-ended questions that aren't necessarily specifically guiding for a story or a particular angle. They're asking open-ended things because they got 15, 20 seconds. They want to fill a nice sound bite. Here's a reaction. Here's whatever. So you get a lot of talk about what happened tonight. Talk about the game, which is fine. But they're looking for something different.
Right.
If you're for print or for other, radio or something that's a little more, you have a little more time and you can get into it. You're asking more pointed questions that are more specific about certain things. And I'm not one of these guys that I don't take a little tiny snippet of an answer and just
run with it,
blow it up out of proportion. I've never done that. I've never put that out of context. I wouldn't do that to somebody. It annoys me that every media gets painted with the same brush when you got a bunch of dummies out there that are mischaracterizing some things that people say. I get it from a player standpoint. I get why you'd be nervous about that, but not everyone is the same. Not everyone does things the same way. And these guys know these guys are grown-ups. Like if you talk to a Jay Crowder, or you talk to a Solomon Hill, or you talk to even a Tyus Jones, who's not, Tyus Jones is 23, 24 years old. He understands completely the whole situation. He thinks about it. He gives a question. He doesn't just blurt out some random answer. He thinks about it for a second, and he goes on about his business. These guys understand how to do this.
And I think a lot of teams and a lot of players, we talked about this with Kari, with the whole thing about when they arrested my boy Peter Fleischer. When they call the police
arrested.
They call the police. I'm sorry.
He's still in jail right now. He's still in jail right now.
I went to go see him yesterday. He's doing fine. But no, it's the same thing, man. You know your people, man. We cover the Grizzlies, and we're there for practice. Back in the old world, we were there for practice 2 or 3 days after game day after the game. It's almost like the guys are our coworkers. We see these guys all the time.
Exactly. That's why you establish that relationship.
Yeah, and it's
let me tell you.
They know what to expect.
We got to take a break. But there's another factor this we'll talk about on the other side. There's another factor this. We'll continue that. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Sports Time on Sports 56 with Wallo and Stats. Weekday afternoons from 3 till 6. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
Even in times like these, special occasions happen. And when an occasion calls for special, it calls for 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination. From the spectacular 36-ounce porterhouse paired with a Ferrari Carano Cabernet, to the jumbo lump crab cakes, to the raw bar with oysters fresh off the boat from the Gulf and the East Coast, there is simply no finer dining experience in Memphis than 117 Prime in the heart of downtown. These are complicated times, but if you want simply the best, you want 117 Prime.
Golfers, it's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops. Introducing TaylorMade's brand new P-Series irons. Check out the P7 MB and P7 MC, both made with the perfect combination of performance, feel, and hint of forgiveness. And the new P770 is designed to leverage TaylorMade's forged hollow body construction to pack as much distance and forgiveness you can find in one club. Come in today and get custom fit for the P-Series performance irons and find your right fit. Edwin Watts Golf, serving golfers since 1968, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Family Leisure's done it again. We're talking about the world's biggest spa sale. Up to 30% off on spas and swim spas. Choose from hundreds of different spas from multiple manufacturers. There is special financing available, and if you are in the market, special pricing now as summer starts to dwindle on chemicals and accessories. Always professional delivery available. The spas are going crazy at Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road.
Summertime and the living is easy. No more cutting or paying utilities. Literally, you guys, Town Village Audubon Park, nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. Looking for a great place to retire, but you still have a very active lifestyle? Then visit Town Village. Only requirements that you're 55 plus. Prices per month starting at $24.50. The Gourmet Chef welcomes you to visit our restaurant and bistro. Package includes 3 complimentary meals per day, maid service, free local transportation, monthly coffee club, themed dinner parties, lots of fun. Visit us and call Daniel or Bo at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home. Town Village Audubon Park.
We are Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 96.1 FM, and 87.7 FM. As well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere on your phone or tablet by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, tell Google or Alexa to play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Yeah, this is that's good. There's no holding me back. I'm on a rant now.
Come
I'm
on,
the
man.
soapbox, Sane.
Come on. You need your music? Fire them up, is that?
Out.
I'll let them borrow.
Hour number 2 continues. It's going to be a nice day. Hot, but nice. No rain in the forecast. I'm just mad.
I'll let them borrow my music, Zach. You can let them use.
Yeah, you started like you got me on a whole tangent here.
Yeah, man.
I've been mad throughout the break. I'm continuing to be mad. It just getting madder and madder through the break.
Media nerds.
I thought I might calm down. but now I'm even mad.
Yeah, go ahead. Say some names,
a little bit
man.
ago.
Say some names on Mill Street, man. Call these folks up.
Here's something else that's annoying. The whole time, and this is not just the Grizzlies, but really most every team, except there's a few exceptions, have started treating like media members like the enemy, like we are an opposing
say some names,
intervening. What do you want me to say?
Say
There's
some
you know exactly what I'm talking about. No, because it's not. There's no point in that. But everybody knows. They've changed there've been policy changes that have always been continued to make it harder and harder to establish what you're talking about there. You got me on that by talking about how we're like coworkers, which is true. Like you kind of just have the same. You're just talking like you just want to have conversations.
We see these guys all the time. It is not just
it gets
on game
hard,
day.
but you used to, but you don't now. And whenever there's interactions between media and or anybody from the media and a player. Or a coach, it's typically like watched and monitored and looked at and discussed. Someone sitting in on it like it's some kind of secret affair, like secret thing. Like you can't say certain contraband things. The amount of patronizing and parenting that is done for grown-ups is unbelievable. And all it does is just make everybody's life more difficult. It makes it harder. And players will learn this. Players will learn this as they get older. It's all well and good now for rookies and young players because the organization and their interests are aligned. But what happens 3 or 4 years down the line when a player starts to kind of maybe not necessarily be in the organization's long-term plans. Maybe there's the player is struggling a little bit. Maybe their contract is a little bit of an impediment. Maybe there's some issues there. All of a sudden now, that player might want to have some conversations and some thoughts that they want to share that all of a sudden are being muzzled by the organization.
Like mad dogs.
Players have to understand that it's not all the organization. The media is not trying to. The media is just we report what is being said,
right.
And it's up to the player to say what the player wants to say. And if the player allows the organization to muzzle them, then that's going to be problematic for them down the line. It's all well and good when the two things align, but they don't always align. And players got to remember that. So it's frustrating when we're sort of like shunted away, like we're the opposing force, and players are like it's just the hardest thing in the world to like come over and talk, and it just makes it more and more difficult. I mean, it creates a separation that is unnatural and is not really. It doesn't have to be that way. It isn't that way in a lot of places, and it doesn't have to be that way. It makes it. So it creates these kind of environments, man. It's just.
Well, Peter, you're talking to a guy who's been held back a lot. Imagine what this like is the guy who's on the outside, how they treat me as far as player relations are concerned.
I mean, it's all ridiculous, man. It's been ridiculous. Like it
does seem crazy, man.
It doesn't do anybody any good. It doesn't. It's a fake false sense of control. It's a false sense of because they don't really control what's going on. It's just a false narrative that's out there. So that's frustrating.
I've hit people up over there because I've made some of my relationships better with certain people over there over time. You know what I mean? And I've told them, hey, if you don't give me something, I'm just gonna make some up. So what you want to do? You want me to go through you, or you want me to go through my channels and find out? Because if I go through my channels, I'm just gonna put it out how I want to put it out. So, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, like I don't even like.
And I'm joking about the making stuff up part, of course.
It has but it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do to me with it's not a personal thing. Like I like all those guys. This is all. I have no problem. Some people seem to have a problem with this. I don't know. I have no problem separating personal and professional. Like what my personal opinion of the folks that I work with down there or wherever has absolutely zero to do with the professional issues that we come into. We can go sit down and have a beer. We can go chat. There's nothing about this is personal in any way, shape, or form. Nothing. It's just a professional issue that is ultimately it's a problem for the fans because the fans end up getting limited interaction, limited awareness, limited information, a false what's really going on, and again, or everything is shunted towards the company media outlet, that is there, funded, paid for by the owner, and gone through, an approval process and everything else.
Amazing filter.
And so that fans understand, fans know. That's not like you have to look at everything no matter what it is. It might be interesting, but it's coming through that filter. It's been filtered and approved. If you're seeing it out of that media outlet, it's been approved. So that means as a fan, this is something that they are okay with you seeing. It isn't unfiltered.
I just think it's all weird because Memphis.
And if fans need unfiltered access to that information to something. I'm not saying there isn't a role for that, but that can't be the only thing.
I just think it's weird because Memphis is one of the nicest, kindest media outlets when it comes down to
exactly. Yeah, this is like there's
no one here really comes at guys like whatever. You know what I mean? Like we don't dog guys out at all. And there's been stuff, man. Like I said, you got different channels information. I hear stuff through hood channels that could destroy a whole lot of players that I'll never put out because I'm not in the business of doing it. You know what I mean? Like I get stuff. I've seen videos of this. I've seen pictures of this. I hear stories about this and that. I don't put that stuff out, man, because that's not what I'm here for. But it just kind of makes you. It's kind of frustrating when that particular organization puts all these walls up to protect stuff. Like, man, you ain't got to put that wall up because I don't have to go through you guys to do too much of anything that I do. You know what I mean? Like that's just real. You know what I mean? Like so. Well,
I think it's. If I
wanted to drop bombs, I'd drop bombs. I'm not that type of dude. You know what I mean? So I give
it's just a disservice to the fans ultimately.
Yeah, it's
terrible. At the end of the day, it's just that's the part that's unfortunate. But anyway, that the whole Michael Porter Jr. thing just brought that up. I just think that players are grown-ups, and these teams need to treat their players like they're grown-ups. They're grown-ups.
And the moral of that story is Michael Porter Jr. is goofy.
That is true. We're going to talk to our friend Dustin Starr coming up. Speaking of interviews, one of the great promo men. We're going to talk about that coming up in hour number 3 of the program here. For the Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Star, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Have you been to a Burlington lately? They have unbelievable deals on amazing brands and styles at up to 60% off other retailers' prices. No coupons or sales, just fabulous values every single day. It's a treasure hunt with new bargains arriving all the time and savings that'll surprise you. At Burlington, you get more for less, whether it's back to school, work, or just back. Now more than ever, you'll love the deals. You'll love Burlington.
Napa know-how. At Napa, you can get a 5-quart jug of Mobil 1 full synthetic motor oil for $26.99. An incredible oil for an unbeatable price from the best car people around. Making this deal the best of the best of the best of the best of the best deals around. That's Mobil 1, only $26.99. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General States pricing. Sales prices not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer ends 9/30/20.
Hey, Tiger fans, this is John Stacy of the Wolf Chase Honda Blue and Gray Show. You can hear Drew Barrett and I talk Tigers with Tigers every Sunday night at 5 right here on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. You never know which Tigers great we'll have in the studio with us either. We'll get them to call in, too. We are your go-to show for Memphis Tigers football. That's the Wolf Chase Honda Blue and Gray Show right here on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
You'll see the dedication in every single step. You'll see it in the smiles when smiles are hard to get. You'll see it in the little things that add up to success. The caring and passion are the things that we love best.
Wolf Chase Limb Brace is your Mid-South provider for orthotics and prosthetics. They are an ABC accredited facility and their practitioners are ABC certified. At Wolf Chase Limb Brace, their services include artificial limbs, legs and arms, braces of all kinds, and custom molded inserts. You can call them today at 901-507-7821 for their location on Highway 64 in between Germantown Parkway and Appling Road, or visit them at their new location in Jackson, Tennessee. That number is 731-660-5900, or visit them on the web at wolfchaselimbandbrace.com.
Wolf Chase Limb and Brace.
Listen Sundays at 11 a.m. to join Idlewild Presbyterian Church for worship. Idlewild is a PCUSA church located in Midtown Memphis.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Sports 56 traffic.
The roadways should be clear on Bill Morris Parkway westbound of I-240 from an accident early on. I believe the cars are still on the right side of the shoulder, so keep in mind on that. Also, we have an accident on Lamar Avenue and Concord. That's Lamar and Concord. And this is your Sports 56 traffic update.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
Feeling it today. Hour number 3 is here. Promos, baby. We're cutting promos today. Doesn't it feel that way, Sane?
Yeah, man.
We're a tag team.
I didn't know that this was a request radio. I didn't know this is how this works. We get some some weird requests from Texas that I guess they think we just come in and wait to see what they tell us we should talk about every day. But no. That's not how it works, sir. Sorry. You don't give a crap about what you text in about what we should talk about. That's not how it works. Sorry.
Yeah, listen, I'll read every text.
Yeah, I read them.
I don't regard. I don't always
give a damn.
Agree with them, but I read them. No, I read everything. It's fine. No problem. I mean, it's just this. That's how it goes, man. We read them all.
Hey, we read them.
Read them all.
Have no choice. They're right there in our face.
We don't use them all, but we read them. It is hour number 3. We are here in the Family Leisure Studios. This hour brought to you by friends at Acura of Memphis. Find them online, AcuraofMemphis.com. Go see them at 385 and Ridgeway. That's where you'll find the great folks at Acura of Memphis. Brand new sedans, RLX, TLX, ILX, those fabulous SUVs, the MDX and the RDX as well. It's all there for you. One of the finest service departments in the country, an award-winning service department that is really all about you. And especially with the COVID concerns and everything else, it makes it doubly impressive how quickly and how easily they can take care of you. You get your service appointment scheduled, go to their website, AcuraMemphis.com, get it scheduled, drop off, boom. You can see exactly how long it's going to take. If you need arrangements for a ride or whatever, they can take care of all that for you. Places to work, and all that is all socially distanced and clean and ready to roll for you. So it's just about customer service, and it's why they continue to be a dealership of distinction, one of the very finest dealerships in the country, and have been since they've been around. They've been around since 1989, one of the very first Acura dealerships in the entire United States, right here. And it's Acura of Memphis, online, AcuraofMemphis.com. Well, it is Thursday. It is 9 o'clock. That means, one thing, and one thing only. It's time for 5-star Dustin Starr. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the ladies' pet and the men's regret. Dustin Starr.
You're going to get me in trouble this morning, Peter.
That's exactly right, Dustin. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. If I seem a little bit distracted, just don't worry about it. I've got Eric McMahon sitting on one side of me, and I've got Devin Walker, baby, sitting on the other side. They're making faces, and they're trying to mess me up when I'm on live radio. We're getting ready to talk to the AEW World Tag Team Champions today on Grind City Wrestling, so we're all fired up and excited. So they're trying to mess with me.
That's fantastic. Well, tell Eric and Devin we said hello. I always like talking.
Eric says that he's a little disappointed in you, Peter. He needs to come on and talk some MMA.
Eric is always welcome. Eric is always welcome to do that. And I want Eric and Sane to fight because Sane's in training right now. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh, hey now.
I'm trying to get these hands ready for these bombs.
Now he's going to get. So I want Eric and Sane to go at it. I think that'd be a.
I think
Eric who's
is undefeated.
Eric McMahon. You know Eric. You know Eric.
E-Rock. He is undefeated in MMA competition. So I don't know if I would do that.
Undefeated. That's exactly right. Right there. And
yeah.
Dustin, me and you will go at it in professional wrestling. And Sane and Eric will go at it in mixed martial arts. It'll be what a night! What a night of competition we got right here. Yeah. And then Devin and Zach can go at it in whatever the hell they're going to do. I don't even know.
I can't do that to my boy.
Well,
I can't do that to my boy.
Here's how that works. I'm not the fighting type, so you might be surprised what I mix in with my martial arts. So.
Uh-oh.
Hey, I can book this show, I can book this event, and we can put it on television Saturday at noon.
Let's get it, baby. Let's get it. I'm ready to roll. Let's get after it. Dustin, you guys are talking to the champs, huh? This is how did this whole thing come about?
Well, we're celebrating our 100th episode at Grind City Wrestling. So, you can check it out at grindcitymedia.com/podcast. Cheap plug, but they're celebrating too. They just won the AEW World Tag Team title, and it's kind of a surprise guest. So I'm giving you guys the scoop here first. But yeah, the tag champs, their first interview will be with us today. So we're all celebrating. We're going to crack open some beers, and we're going to have a good little time, hopefully.
Yes, FTR knocking off Omega and Page at All Out.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood. So it's that's going to be a lot of fun. What did you think of All Out?
I know the internet kind of killed it like it was just all over the place. But that's what AEW is. I thought it was a great pay-per-view because you didn't know what was going to come next, especially like with the Matt Hardy thing, him taking that bump. And, you know, they stopped the match, they restarted the match. That's real life. Like, they literally did not know exactly what to do because Matt Hardy's AEW career was on the line. You had the tag team titles. You know, what's going to happen with Hangman and Omega? I mean, we've seen them, you know, seemingly going to split up for a long time, and just when we thought that everything was cool, they split up. You got the Mimosa Mayhem match that I really, really enjoyed. Jericho is on a different level, and I know we talk about it a lot, but he just is. I don't know, everything he says is trademarked and turned into a T-shirt. And this match, and for him to put over Orange Cassidy, I thought was tremendous because they're building these new stars. I was a little bit surprised that Moxley hung on to the AEW World Heavyweight title, though, because MJF just seems like he's the guy, and not the guy just because they tell us he's the guy. But, oh, my gosh, if you watch last night's Dynamite, Jericho and MJF kind of spitting fire at each other a little bit at the very opening of the program. I mean, that's what it's all about. And I just thought it was a great pay-per-view. What'd you guys think?
No, I agree with you. The Mimosas thing was you know, that's the creativity is just phenomenal. Like, I mean, to me, Jericho, I've always been a Jericho fan for, you know, I don't know, 25 years or however long he's been doing. I mean, since I was in high school. But to see him still at this level, at his age, and having been around as long as he's been around is just it's amazing, man. I mean, the dude is
he's 50.
Yeah, he's 48 or 49.
Yeah, he's almost 50 years old and still being able to hang with these young guys, and not just on the mic, but in the ring. I mean, I hope I can move at least like a little bit like that when I'm 50. I don't know about that.
And the dude's schedule, man. He's out there. He's doing the stuff with Fozzy. He's doing the podcast world. He's got the cruise thing that he's been trying to do. Like the guy, he is in terms of like, you know, a multi-dimensional guy. With the longevity. You know, you don't think about it as much because of Jericho, but he's been around. I remember Jericho and Lance Storm as the Thrill Seekers in Smoky Mountain back in like 1994, 93, 94. And now it's 2020, and he's, you know, at the top of his game still. I think you got to appreciate how incredibly versatile and talented this dude is. Off the charts, man.
48 years old. It's confirmed. He is 48 years old. 49
you got your crack
years
crew
old.
back. You got your crack crew back there. The stat crew back there.
49 years old. But it's one thing to be able to do all the stuff that Jericho does. That's one thing. But it's a whole other thing to be very, very good at all of those things. And he is literally really good, whether he's hosting Tough Enough or he's on a podcast doing an interview or cutting a promo, or wrestling in the ring, or coming up with creative ideas, or selling champagne, the bubbly, like the one little catchphrase, a little bit of the bubbly, and all of a sudden they sell 10, 15,000 bottles of, you know, champagne in a matter of a couple of weeks. It's just unbelievable what he's been able to do and to continue doing.
Now, my question to you, go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry.
Rusev. Made his debut.
I was going to ask. That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, be on the same plane. He came back as Miro, which I don't know if that's his real name, but I'm not really digging that name. What do you think about
Miro?
Mark Miro.
It's not Mark Miro. His name is Miro, though, so I heard the crowd chanting Miro Day, so it was cool. I'm a big fan of his. He wrestled John Cena at WrestleMania. He came out in a freaking tank. You guys remember that? He rode a tank to the ring against John Cena. So, I mean, the guy is not only legit wrestler, but, man, he's a big guy. I think that the first thing they need to do is make some Miro Day shirts, because I heard he sold more of those than anybody else in WWE. But it was cool to see him there. I don't know what to expect because he was paired with Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. So we'll see what happens. But I thought it was really cool. Now, I know the fans are saying, you know, they're bringing WWE guys, but they're not just bringing any WWE guys. They're bringing the guys that people want to see. And like Brody, people were clamoring for Brody Lee for years and years and years, and now he's the TNT champion. Like, I don't even categorize Cody as a WWE guy anymore. Jericho, I mean, he's done it all everywhere. Moxley, he's the number one wrestler on the PWF Top 500 list. FTR, they're a tag team that was kind of pigeonholed in WWE where they weren't doing a whole lot, and people really, really were pushing for them to be champions or to be pushed. And so AEW is listening to the people, and they're bringing these guys in. So I'm here for it. I think it's cool. Now, you can go a little too far, like TNA or Impact Wrestling has done in the past, but I don't think we're there yet because they're bringing in literally the most popular guys that are leaving WWE, and not just anybody and everybody.
Well, I think it's also an interesting case study from Miro or Rusev or whatever his case, because he's still pretty young. He's certainly got a good look. But he's a guy that, because of whether it's economics or whatever it may be, the WWE didn't feel like they could do anything with. Didn't feel like there was a future.
Oh my
there.
Gosh!
Felt like they could let him go. So if this can prove that Vince was wrong and that he is a marketable talent, then to me that opens the door for some other guys from WWE who are kind of underutilized to start looking over and saying, you know what, if I can just kind of work my way out of here, maybe there's some brighter. I think it's an interesting case study. If he doesn't get over, then maybe Vince was right. Maybe there wasn't anything there.
Did you hear what Vince told Miro? He told him that people were buying his shirts and chanting Rusev Day as kind of a rib on him. Like it was a joke, like they were just messing with him. Literally, Rusev said he would sell out of T-shirts. I went to WrestleMania in New Orleans, and the people weren't chanting yes. Like literally, we're walking down the street in New Orleans, and people were chanting Rusev Day. And Vince told him that the people were just putting him on and having a good time with him, like it was fake, like they were making fun of him. So you're right. If Miro can get over and he can sell a ton of merchandise, I mean, because that's what it's all about, is making the company money, right?
Yeah.
If he can do that, he'll absolutely prove Vince wrong. But I thought it was just incredible that a guy that sold so many T-shirts and was so popular, they literally thought it was a joke, that the people were messing with him.
It's a texter at 67129 says Jericho and Lance Storm came to Greenwood, Mississippi, and wrestled in a bar in 1995. Yeah, man. I mean, these guys, I'm telling you, you go back and watch some of the old stuff, and it's amazing to see how far and where these guys have come. I saw earlier this week, Dustin, I thought about you because I saw an old promo from Ronnie P. Gossett. Do you remember Ronnie P. Gossett?
Oh, wow, absolutely. I remember him being hung in a cage above the ring, and he would throw, chains and powder and stuff. Like
that's right.
Even when you put him in a shark cage, he would still cheat.
And he was the mouthpiece for the Master of Pain, and of course we remember who the Master of Pain turned out to be. One of the greatest icons in the history of the sport, the Undertaker. So it's amazing to watch these guys that have been around for as long as they have keep doing their thing. And I think it goes to show, Dustin, because we talked about sports and the pandemic and whatever else, but there is something timeless, man, about wrestling and about a good wrestling match, about a good promo. Like we saw Kenny Omega last. Well, I mean, what a fantastic promo! What a fantastic turn of events we may see with him. Because I still think he's maybe the best in the business. There's just something timeless about the whole thing.
It's just more realistic the way that AEW is doing this, especially the breakup of the Elite. When Hangman cost the Bucks the match, the Bucks didn't attack him. They didn't beat him up. It was almost like if the three of us had a disagreement. We're not beating each other up. We're like, hey man, what was that?
Yeah,
it's like more of a real life promo, just asking what happened. All right, well you're not in our group anymore. And then the way that Omega was cutting the promo wasn't necessarily a wrestling, let me tell you something, brother, old school type of thing. It's more real life, the way that they're even talking to each other and the way that they go about these feuds. And I think that's really cool. It's almost like reality wrestling, even though it is. I know people say it's not scripted because they don't script their lines and all, but trust me, anything that you see on TV, they have an idea of at least bullet points of what's going to happen, because that's the whole reason that we do the show, right?
Yeah,
there's no question. What I think also one of the things that's funny, I think I've talked to your buddy there, Eric, about this whole thing from the mixed martial arts perspective. I think it's funny how the worlds have meshed and collided and kind of intermingled. I think we've seen like AEW take a more realistic approach to some of the promos and things like that within the conflict. They haven't been as over the top as we've seen some feuds and some issues in the past. And I think by the same token, MMA jumped off when you started seeing guys take wrestling, like your Colby Covingtons of the world, and guys that are basically cutting promos and are using it, but they're cutting promos that are then leading to a real actual mixed martial arts fight. But they understand about selling in a way that I don't think we've seen. So it's kind of funny how these worlds have collided to some extent.
Yeah, it was kind of, I believe, frowned on at first. Anytime WWE was mentioned in the same breath as UFC, and I think Dana White even at one point, was kind of maybe fearful that they would think that MMA would turn into a work, because we would see them like a Conor McGregor or Brock Lesnar do these promos, and then maybe another guy enters the cage all of a sudden, and they have a stare down, and that leads to the next match. Right. It's so pro wrestling that and there is a huge crossover now. I think. Maybe 10 years ago, it was like, oh, I don't watch that fake stuff. But now it's like, oh, my gosh, all these MMA stars are going over. Ronda Rousey, all these stars are going over.
Brock Lesnar is going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I mean, Brock's doing...
Speaking of him, I do think that he's going to have a couple of more fights in the UFC. It looks like they're trying to set him up for a match and then maybe have John Jones next or something like that. But he's not done with MMA, and I don't think he's done with WWE either. So and then also, we talk about this on the podcast all the time. He uses that as leverage to make more money. Like, he hasn't spoken a single word about it, but Dana White has. John Jones has. Cain Velasquez has. So ESPN has. So they're all talking about Brock, and that just helps him make more money wherever he decides to go. But there's a huge crossover, especially right now, with the MMA and professional wrestling.
Well, yeah, and I understand they're concerned about thinking that it might be a work or something like that. And there have been some works, in Japan and in the mixed martial arts scene, which were unfortunate. That has happened before, so it's it's not totally unprecedented even in mixed martial arts. I get it, but the promotional aspect of it, because we've seen the WWE crank up their promotional side of it to try to get the momentum back and try to get themselves back in the mix. And that, to me, is where UFC took it to the next level, Dustin, is when they took those elements of promotion and storytelling and started doing those those videos, the vignettes to kind of lead up to the fight, sort of setting the quote unquote feud, even if there wasn't really a feud per se. To set up the angle, there has to be an angle, there has to be an issue, there has to be some reason for the conflict other than just, hey, we're fighting. And once they kind of figured that out, I think it took it to a whole different level. And now you see a bunch of fans and everyone getting fired up, and rightly so.
Yeah, nobody does it better than a WWE or UFC as far as their promotional packages and lead-ins to these different fights, and they can literally create conflict with anything. And we saw it even in basketball. Michael Jordan, during that special, the documentary, he will create something in his mind, and I think that's the same thing here. You got to create something, some sort of conflict, some sort of reason that you want to see these guys beat each other up. And I think the biggest heel, probably other than Conor McGregor, would be a Brock Lesnar. Everybody wants to see him get beat up, and that's what's so great about it, is he can beat anybody with one punch. If he gets one on you, he's so big and so strong. If he grabs you, you're pretty much done. I mean, he's just so big and strong.
He'd just take you to Suplex City. I think we've all seen
right.
That's and those bumps are the. I want to talk about that next week, Dustin. Just mark this on the calendar. We're going to talk about this. I want to talk about, from a wrestling standpoint, the toughest bumps to take, the stuff that is the most difficult thing to deal with in as you're working in the ring. Just put a little pin in that for next week.
For sure.
But as you mentioned, and coming up on Grind,
we're not talking about table bumps or anything like that. We're talking about wrestling moves. Wrestling moves that you take. I can list off a bunch of them. All of them hurt.
Some
I'll give
are
you my
tougher
top
than others,
5.
I imagine. That's exactly right. Well, we'll talk about that next week. You guys, are, like you said, on Grind City Wrestling podcast, you guys have the AEW Champs coming on, and then tell us about that and tell us about what's coming up on Saturday.
Very, very cool. Well, this Saturday on CW30 at noon, we've got the return of the women's division. So we got CC Chanel going against Vipress. And I know that these might be some names that you guys haven't heard of, but if you haven't watched, then maybe you don't know who these stars are. But you can check it out on YouTube or CW30. It's at CW30 Wrestling. We returned to our live production last week with a brand new episode. It was crazy the way that we kicked the show off and the way we ended the show. So some really good storylines moving forward. And it was also announced that our new booker, our new creative guy, is Aaron Stevens, who was Damian Sandow or Mizdow, who was with the Miz forever.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, so he's on the creative team now. So you'll see some really good stuff, and just really, really professional guys. And also on Tuesday is the premiere of the United Wrestling Network's Primetime Live. So NWA is tag teaming with United Wrestling Network for a live pay-per-view every Tuesday. You can get the package on Fight TV or any of your pay-per-view providers. And that's going to be a really big deal because they've got Nick Aldis versus Mike Bennett for the NWA 10 pounds of gold. And this will be the first time that we've seen Mike Bennett since he left WWE. You know, Mike and Maria, that whole thing. So got some good stuff coming up.
Fantastic. It's going to be that sounds great. That's fantastic. So check all of that out. He is, of course, Dustin Starr at Dustin Starr 5-star. Enjoy the podcast. Enjoy talking to everybody, and please give our best to Eric and Devin.
Will do. Thank you, guys.
All right, buddy.
All right, brother.
He's our friend Dustin Starr joining us. We'll take a break and continue here from the Family Leisure Studios. We'll talk about last night. We'll talk about a whole lot more as we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ. Listen to us daily on AM 560, 96.1 FM, or 87.7 FM.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 115 years. You know, I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. So easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. Stock up heavy on all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet.
I saved big money with the Progressive Home and Auto Bundle, so I finally bought that new set of golf clubs. Watch out, Fairway. Here I come.
This is not a real testimonial. Sure, customers can save big with Progressive, but your other expenses won't just disappear. Are those clubs going to help you when the hot water heater dies? Also, it sounds like your money is better spent on golf lessons.
Time to go shoot the course record.
No, but maybe time for a reality check. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hey, Tiger fans, this is John Stacy of the Wolf Chase Honda Blue and Gray Show. You can hear Drew Barrett and I talk Tigers with Tigers every Sunday night at 5 right here on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. You never know which Tigers great we'll have in the studio with us either. We'll get them to call in, too. We are your go-to show for Memphis Tigers football. That's the Wolf Chase Honda Blue and Gray Show right here on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Ben Swinger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 125 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Ben Swinger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. 2 Memphis locations, one in Midtown on Hollywood Street across from the Liberty Bowl, and one in Cordova off Germantown Parkway next to the Fox and Hound. Visit their website, benswingerglass.com. Ben Swinger Glass.
Hi, this is Rob Brown. Join Pete Cordelli and me for Sidelines, Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. on Sports 56, 87.7, and 96.1 FM. We'll cover the Memphis Tigers, the SEC, recruiting. Hey, if they keep score, we're covering it. Check us out on the website at sports56whbq.com and sidelines.live. Sidelines is brought to you by Duncan Williams Asset Management. Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. Get up and give us a call.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
We got shenanigans, Anthony Sane, as hour number 3 continues on a beautiful sunny day. You want some shenanigans?
Yeah, come on with it.
The NBA is investigating Houston Rockets reserve Daniel House Jr. for allegedly allowing a female COVID-19 testing official into his hotel room.
Hey.
And his status is up in the air. He says
Get it how you
he is
live,
innocent.
Get it how you live.
Wait. She was a testing official?
Yeah.
All right.
So they can't have nobody in their room?
No.
Not supposed to. Although if she's in the bubble, if she in the bubble,
if she healthy, he healthy, man. Shoot, man. Turn off the lights. Light a candle. Man,
close your eyes, make a wish. Yeah, I don't know. That's I don't know if she must not be in the bubble. She must just be like because she's got to go. If she's a testing official, she's probably got to leave, and go back home and all that stuff. I don't think she's living at the hotel.
There's no way that she's in the bubble testing the players if she isn't cleared of not having COVID.
Well, no, but have you seen what they wear? But have you seen what they? I mean, I'm sure she's tested like they test everyone on a daily
gear
basis. But yeah, they wear like the hazmat suits when they're testing these dudes.
Man,
so
she came about that hazmat for.
Hey, baby, why don't you take that hazmat suit
Yeah,
off? Let me see what's going on under that suit.
Take them rubber gloves off.
Good night, everybody.
Why don't you, leave that. Why don't you leave that face shield on, though? If you don't mind.
Yeah, leave that face shield on.
Go ahead, leave that on. Let's get the rest of that off.
just unzip that mug in there. Pull it. I wanted the hazmat suit to have have a crotch like a onesie where you just gotta unsnap that joint.
It's like just like a warm ups, like those warm ups. You're trying to get in the game. Let me snap those warm ups off. All right, yeah. Go ahead, girl. Let's see what we got here.
That's crazy, man.
COVID-19.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Well, I might say the wrong things. I'll let you talk.
Oh, you're almost certainly gonna say.
I'll just let you finish because if I say it, shout out to Stephen A. Smith. Who was on crack?
Oh man. Okay, so our thanks to Dustin Starr for joining us. Good stuff. Talking a little wrestling with Dustin Starr. We talked about the incredible output of the Braves last night. 29 runs in the game. 29 to 9 was the final score. An absolutely insane game, and Anthony Sane had so many great stats on it. I'm sure he remembers all of them.
29 to 9.
Just go ahead and tell me about those again, Sane. Why don't you
man, 29 to 9. Some guy that played his first base for them said that we really bladed on the ass or something like that. He said something like that. So.
What?
I believe that's what he said. I think that was his quote.
He said we ain't got time for these poverty-ass baseball teams.
The San Francisco 49ers are practicing in what they call an apocalyptic state because of the skies I mentioned earlier on. If you have not seen the video or any pictures, or if you don't have friends or loved ones who live in that area, Bay Area, West Coast, Oregon, all up into Washington, it's crazy. Like it is truly insane. I don't even know how to describe it. Like if you haven't seen it, it's just it's orange, it's yellow, the sky all day. It's not like a right. Sunrise or sunset. Like it's all day long. It's dark and hazy, and there's ash in the air. The entire air is ashy and just not good. So it's described as apocalyptic for them because it's pretty rough out there. Kyle Shanahan said he felt like he was in the book of Eli, like an apocalyptic state out there. Although the team's measurement of the air quality index was 69, which is nice, of course, but it's very healthy, which I've always said 69, very healthy, just in general. That's what the quality is. But if that air quality gets worse, then they won't be able to play. So I believe that's what Daniel House was testing for, by the way, was COVID-69. It's a different
come on,
different ailment, but no less concerning. But anyway, so the team, it's if you've got to see these, you got to see these numbers. You got to see like what this looks like. If you haven't seen it, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at these skies, man. Look at this. Is like, I mean, what is? If I woke up and I looked out and that's what the sky looked like, I mean, forget about it. We're saying some prayers. I'm going over to Zach's house to get right with the Lord. I mean, whatever we got to do. Because that does not, I mean, that looks, if it's lunch, if it's the middle of the day, and I'm looking outside and it's dark and orange, the sky, I'm going to have a chat with God. Me and God are about to chat.
The rapture is coming. It's coming. I mean, it's coming sooner than you think.
So what are you expecting to see like in this game tonight with my Chiefs and
Texans?
Yeah, your Houston Texans, Peter, and my Chiefs. What are you expecting to see, man?
Your Chiefs?
Yeah.
Your Texans and your Chiefs?
No.
Two of the two highest paid quarterbacks in the business. This is good stuff, man. I mean, it is. I don't know. I don't know what to.
Limited fans will be in attendance. We get to see what that looks like.
I mean, I think it's fantastic to see, Mahomes and Watson going at it because of just the amount of money that they've both signed for and what's happened. And the Chiefs, I mean, I don't know how they can live up to the expectation. I mean, everybody that I see is predicting the Chiefs to repeat. Like everybody, it's.
Including myself.
I'm not going to say unanimous, but it's pretty much anywhere across the board you look, Chiefs are hugely favored to get this thing done. But you can't really you can't blame them. I mean they've done a phenomenal job in the offseason of keeping that roster not only together but locked up for a while. Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, Chris Jones. They somehow manipulated the math to be able to make this thing work. Very impressive that they were able to do it. So, all the momentum is on their side, man. I can't see, I see no other outcome other than KC. Even though there's going to be limited fans in attendance at Arrowhead, and even though it's going to be, a weird atmosphere, I don't see any reason why the Chiefs don't take care of business. It's just hard to know because we don't have preseason. We don't have any kind of, we don't have any real way to see what these teams have been up to. But I mean, the Chiefs are a 9-point favorite tonight. I think that seems very reasonable to me. Chiefs by 2 touchdowns seems quite an easy pick.
We're gonna get these bombs out here, man.
I'll say 45-31. I think it'll be an exciting, fun, up-tempo game.
Yeah. I'm just looking forward to see what it looks like with no fans. I want to see limited fans.
You want to see what that looks like?
I want to see what the NFL.
I can go. I can show you what you want me. I can send you pictures of the stadiums if you want. It's pretty easy.
So are they like okay? The NBA had the bubble, so everything is inside of the bubble dome or whatever with the virtual fans and all that. So as far as anything that a team does, they're kind of doing like baseball, where it's up to that particular team what they do to disguise or not disguise the emptiness of the stadiums, right? Like that's on the teams.
Well, I think the like Fox. I think it's going to depend on the broadcaster, but I know Fox, for example, is put. They're going to put virtual fans in the seats to cover up the emptiness. I know that's part of what they're going to do.
Virtual fans with what? Like
virtual fans, like they'll look like you play Madden, you see fans in the stands, like that's
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, making it sense. You mean it's gonna be like something they like digitize on the screen?
Yeah,
correct. Yeah,
and mixed in with real people too.
Yes.
If I was a real person, I'd be mad as hell. Like, nah, man, this is my time to shine.
Like I totally forgot about that. That was supposed to happen.
Well, that's why you bring your sign that says "I am a real person."
I'm a real person. I'm
and hold that up just so people.
Yeah, so they're gonna. That's gonna happen tonight.
I don't know what NBC's doing the broadcast tonight, so I don't know what they're. I know that's on Fox.
Oh, okay.
Fox was big on there, so I don't know what the NBC plan is on that and what that's going to look like. But it is going to be interesting to see how they kind of do the presentation and mix it. I know, like for example, some teams in some sport, like the Premier League, they were one of the first to come back in big stadiums like that. And they would put huge banners up over the fan sections, to cover up the seats. So they put huge, big drapings of the team logo and all that stuff to cover up the empty seats. So some teams did the cutout thing, like you're seeing in baseball a lot, where you have fan cutouts and people, buy their picture to be put on there. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what the NFL, how they're gonna mix all that in. But I do know it's gonna be. To me, it doesn't make as big of a difference saying with football because, I don't know, especially the NFL, because most time when you're watching the game, you don't see the fans in the hard camera shot of the field.
Right.
You don't really see the fans.
Those barricades up there anyway.
Yeah, like in baseball, you see fans because the ball's going out of the park, and in basketball, you see fans because they're right on top of the action and all that. Football, you don't really see the fans as much. So I don't think it's going to matter from a broadcast point of view. I don't think you're going to really tell that much of a difference. It's just going to it could sound different. It's going to feel a lot different for the players. Obviously, that's going to be a huge part of it too. They're going to raise the banner. Going to get that banner going.
Yeah, championship rings.
Then they're going to.
They don't do that. In
they're going to
NFL,
do. They're going to do the Black National Anthem. Lift every voice and sing.
They can cut that out.
6:55.
NFL just does everything so goofy, man. And, bro, you talk about the most unorganic thing in the world, like playing that song, talking about it's the Black National Anthem. Man, NFL is just goofy. Just let the players do their thing. NFL. That's what you need to do. If you're trying to follow suit, you don't have to play the Black National Anthem.
So. They are going to. I don't know why they're playing it at 6:55. That's half an hour before the game starts. I mean, that's not exactly
stupid,
a primo spot for lift every voice and sing. Again, there's no one even. I don't know how many people are even going to be there and all that. 22% capacity will be the number. 22%, not 20, not 25. 22%.
I'm
capacity.
sorry, bro. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at Texas says. Texas says that he wants to know Zach's thoughts on the end times we're in, and maybe he can
that's good.
Maybe he can do an end time update right after.
Okay. Well, hey, we're going to take a break here shortly. Zach, get ready for that. Get us a Rapture update, if you would.
Let me know where I need to be so I won't miss the boat.
Yeah.
This is so ridiculous, man. People are so crazy. It doesn't make any sense.
I love it. It's great. Also, they will have the sound guy, the mix guy at Arrowhead Stadium, who's going to push the fan noise buttons after each play. The NFL created all of these sounds that are available to each of the stadiums. There are specific fan sounds for various things that happen. The sounds will be a maximum of 80 decibels. Now, the maximum crowd noise ever recorded at Arrowhead Stadium was 142.2. And they're routinely well over 100 decibels. So it's going to be quieter. Even though they're pumping in crowd sound, it's going to be a lot quieter than normal. So no crazy fan type situation. But they're gonna pump that in. So I no word on if a guy overthrows a guy by 10 feet. It's gonna be like, you suck. I don't know if we have that sound.
You don't really hear
there,
too much from NFL crowds as far as stuff coming through audibly like that anyway, though.
There will be social justice messages. Saying get excited about this. This, I believe, is going to end it. This is going to end racism because the NFL says, and in the end zone, it's going to say end racism in one end zone, and then it's going to say it takes all of us in the other end zone.
So I wonder, are people going to stop watching their NFL now?
Well, Anthony's saying, remember this. This is a very important message. It takes two to be racist. One, to be a racist person, and the other to have someone be racist towards them. So remember that. it takes all of us, right? I hate that message. That implies that like the people that are being discriminated against have some issue. They have to change their behavior in some way. Yeah. No, that's just. It doesn't take all of us. It takes the people that are discriminating to stop discriminating.
We don't take all.
That's what it should say. It takes the people who are discriminating to stop discriminating, and then kind of wrap that around the end zone.
Imagine somebody telling the dog, it takes all of us to prevent
it's what I'm saying.
Cruelty to animals.
It reminds me of the one of my favorite lines from The Simpsons. It takes two to lie, one to lie and the other to be lied to.
Right.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, man. Do your part. Do your part to prevent racism.
It's just unbelievable.
Only you can prevent wildfires because of gender reveals.
It takes two to prevent wildfire. One to stop starting fires, and trees. You guys have to stop being
trees,
flammable.
You gotta do your part. Yeah.
Yeah, do your part, not be flammable.
Yeah, fireworks. You got to learn how to avoid fire. How to avoid the woods, the forest.
How about this ridiculous? Now this is why the NFL is so ridiculous. We're gonna take a break, but this is the NFL is the king of sponsorships and making money and just goofy promotional garbage. Now listen to this, Anthony saying players have taken from soccer the concept of swapping jerseys. Like that's a big thing in soccer. Like you swap jerseys with your player, and we've seen the NBA some. Like here, take my jersey, you take your jersey, that kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the NFL started to do that, but now, because of COVID or whatever, on-field exchanges are prohibited and subject to club discipline. Now, again, you've been competing with somebody for 60 minutes. I'm not sure why that exchanging jerseys would make any difference there, but anyway, you can't do that. But they have partnered with Tide. Tide will cover the cost of one replacement jersey per player, washed and exchanged by mail in Tide. This is a Tide sponsorship. They have somehow worked in a laundry sponsorship and a jersey exchange for the players. You talk about why the NFL is making billions. This is why.
Yeah, man.
Nobody maximizes their sponsorship garbage like the NFL.
Yeah. They
insane. What are we doing?
But yeah, man. But I'll be tuning in. I got to see my Chiefs.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a much more yeah, that'll be cool. We only got one NFL. It's crazy the games are back to they're on top of each other. I'm sure they don't really care about, either league doesn't care about the other league. But, yeah, the Lakers and Houston comes on. This will be the first time that there's only been one game in a day, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. So the Lakers and Houston take on each other today, and then you have the first NFL game. Glad to see the NFL back, man. I didn't think they had no plan either. The players were upset because it didn't seem like they didn't have a plan. But here we go. They're about to do it.
We've got a few. We got some little bit of news coming up on the other side. Not only about sports, but also about the end times. That'll be next.
Yeah, end time update.
For the Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy get you through the midday with Sports 56 Middays. Delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Frontier Western Store is open and ready to serve you for all your needs in boots, apparel, pet food, and more. Frontier is proud to be a local leader here in the Mid-South when it comes to boots. Stop by the store today for an incredible selection of name brand work and dress boots. Come browse aisles and aisles of top quality boots at everyday low prices in our world famous boot showroom. Dan Post, Rocky, Durango, Twisted X, Georgia, Ariat, and many more. There are so many styles, colors, and fits available, you might need a hand picking out your favorites. Luckily, Frontier's knowledgeable sales staff will cheerfully assist you with any questions you have and ensure the proper fit of your new boots. Frontier also has an amazing selection of jeans and shirts by Wrangler, Ariat, and Carhartt, as well as a fully stocked women's boutique department with thousands of tops and dresses at unbelievable prices. New arrivals often. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Gilman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Golfers, are you looking to play like a pro without traveling the world? Just come to Golf and Games Family Park, 5484 Summer Avenue. Golf and Games has the Top Tracer range system. Top Tracer gathers all your golfing data, distance, carry, ball speed, and more. Or choose a virtual course like Pebble Beach, St. Andrews, and Spyglass. Bring your friends and family to transform and enhance the range experience for golfers and non-golfers alike. Plus, it's fun. Top Tracer range at Golf and Games, 5484 Summer Avenue. Play like a pro.
Have you thought about the holidays yet? Our friends at Window Genie not only clean windows, gutters, and concrete, they also hang holiday lights. Window Genie has a Christmas light rental program that includes custom design, installation, maintenance, takedown, and storage for your home or office. The best part, they're offering 15% off if you book by November 1st. Spend more time with friends and family this year and less time on the ladder. Call today for a free estimate, 901-424-4100. Window Genie, 901-424-4100.
First Bank is here to help you, whether you're a business looking for a loan to expand or refinance an existing one, a homeowner looking for a mortgage or home equity line, a consumer wanting to finance your dream car, or wanting a competitive rate on your CD deposits. Let First Bank try to handle your banking needs. Stop into one of First Bank's 3 local branches today, 6482 Poplar Avenue just east of International Paper, 8398 Highway 64 across from Wolf Chase, and 6280 Highway 64 in Oakland. Or check them out online at firstbankonline.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Jim Gray from Westwood One here with an NFL Kickoff 2020 preview. From Kansas City, the season gets started with Patrick Mahomes and the Super Bowl champion Chiefs hosting Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans. Even with a limited number of fans at Arrowhead, Mahomes says the night will be special.
I'm just looking forward to being back in Arrowhead playing football for the Kansas City Chiefs. And the championship banner is going to be special. It's going to be something that you'll remember for the rest of your life. And I'm glad that we have a lot of the same guys on the team that were with me for that journey. And we're going to enjoy that together, and then we're going to get right back to playing and try to find a way to go get another one.
Don't miss any of the action, including my visits with Tom Brady and Larry Fitzgerald back with us once again in the pregame show. Then it's the Texans and the Chiefs on NFL Kickoff 2020.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's coverage of the NFL all season long. Right here on Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Mornings with Peter Edmiston.
Yes, I will be good, I promise.
Co-hosting Sports 56 Mornings is Anthony Sane.
That's great, man.
This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Now, back to Peter and Anthony.
There's our guy Jericho right there. Speaking of the walls of Jericho, of course, that's
yeah, Zach. So where do I need to be to catch the Raptors? Not to miss the Raptors, Zach. Where do I need to stand? Is there a bus stop for that, or?
I don't believe there's any place you could miss the Rapture. Anthony's saying, I believe.
I don't want to be in the wrong place. But about what time is this going down, Zach?
I don't know, man.
Any day, any night.
It could happen any day, any night. You just
give
don't
me the update
know.
on how are we on a from a prophecy standpoint? How are we doing here?
We're following suit.
We're on course.
We're on course.
We're on course.
We're on course. We're on track.
For destruction.
we got fire. We got wildfires. We got apocalyptic.
Yeah, we got murder hornets.
We got murder hornets. We got locusts. We got plagues of locusts. That's definitely happened. Frogs. We had some of those.
You got the red.
The bees
red,
have disappeared.
Skies red as blood, all that stuff, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man, we in bad shape.
COVID-19, we got that going. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not.
Got
not
the wars
great.
with China. Hey, but tell you something crazy, man. You know how you will go to church and you'll hear it was a preachers. You'll hear them. They'll pray and they'll say, "Lord, I pray that by the time I'm done, that someone will come running down the aisle saying, 'What must I do to be saved?'" Right? You ever heard anybody say that? Zach?
I have not.
All right, it was a pastor I knew. He used to always say that. He said, "I pray that by the time I'm done, someone will run down the aisle saying, 'What must I do to be saved?'" You ever heard that, Peter?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this lady was like, this lady at the church was like, we say that all the time, but if somebody actually got up and ran down the aisle saying, what must I do to get saved? They probably get knocked out before they make it to the pastor.
We had the same people getting saved multiple times. I'm not sure they figured out what was going on.
Yeah, man. If
At
somebody
school, we
carries
did
out,
that.
"What must I do to be?" They get hit in their mouth, man. They couldn't even make it that far.
I think
Kabam.
I think for us, we'll probably give them like a look like, oh, what's going on? But it's like, I mean, we're happy, but it's like, this is odd.
Does your
like,
pastor have like armor bearers and security and stuff like that?
No.
Whenever I go into church and the pastor's got like this full security detail, I'm like, man, should I have brought mine? Should I have brought my security? I mean,
big dudes in suits.
Yeah, like I don't feel safe. Like, should I have brought my goons?
Is the church open carry? Like,
right. Do I need to bring my goons with me up in here, man? If you need all them dudes, man, who I need to bring up in this joint? So yeah, man. But what must I do to be saved, Zach? Like, I'm gonna run down to somebody's church and actually try that one time and see how that goes off.
Everybody might cut a step, man.
We're gonna work that in. We got Zach's doing traffic, of course.
Man, this man got two duties now, man.
I got weather, and now
I ain't got
Zach's
nothing.
gonna keep us updated on what's going on with that. Maybe
I
you
ain't
could
got
do
nothing.
that. Saying if you want to jump in on the apocalyptic
Yeah, I might have to get y'all the apocalyptic update. There you go.
If you
might
want to
work.
do that, that would be great. We got a big show coming up tomorrow. Of course, we'll talk with our friend Kari Thompson. Adam Kramer is going to join us as well. Midday's coming up next. Everybody have a great Thursday.